All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
All right. Welcome back to ASAP's Real Talk. We check our feelings at the door and we keep 100% real. As much as we like to say it, Freddie, I know you so much on this Russell Westbrook, but we got to keep it real, man. It's just time to let him go. But don't worry, I'm gonna give you more time to talk about that when it's in one of our topics towards the end. You're gonna be able to defend yourself all day and all night, man.
Ain't no defense on Westbrook.
But no, we're gonna jump right into it. Hey, first of all, I'm gonna introduce these awesome. What's the word I'm looking for, Freddie? Why am I drawing a blank on it, man? Analysts, thank you. It's been a long day, folks. I apologize. I'm getting old. Chris Robinson, say hello to the peeps.
How's everybody doing tonight? It's a pleasure to be here. Thank y'all for letting me join y'all.
Absolutely. And then we got, of course, the Bond Chronicles, Ray Bonds. What's up, baby?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Excited to be here.
All right, we're gonna jump right. Oh, my bad. Don't let me bypass the founder, CEO, and pretty much everything that's ASAP, Mr. Freddie Henderson. What's up, baby?
What's going on, gentlemen? I'm good. I got a question for Chris. I'm glad he's on the show. Chris, we all know everybody throughout the network. You are the rich guy. Have you went on there and bought you some merchandise yet?
I am doing it tight, actually.
Yeah, you got to make sure because you know your wallet is a little bit bigger than mine. So you make sure you go ahead and do that. But I'm just ready to do the show.
Not as bigger, but you got the bank account. But I definitely am. So yeah, I was gonna look like Freddie,
if he's a rich guy, I need a loan. We need to talk after the show. We hope you give us some good interest rates. Hey, look, let's go ahead and crank this bad boy up, man. Let's talk about some NFL hot takes. I'm going to go last. Hey, Chris Robinson, what is your NFL hot take for what's going on right now in the NFL world? We may have lost Chris. We'll come back to Chris. Mr. Bonds, what's your NFL hot take?
So as I told y'all off mic, I got a lot of heat last week for what I thought was a very accurate take. But my take for this week is the New England Patriots will make the playoffs and Mac Jones will be the first quarterback from this draft class to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's extra hot.
I'm still doing my hot take like I told you. Mac Jones should have been drafted number 1. Trevor Lawrence should have been down around the second round the way he's playing right now. So I agree with you. I mean, Mac Jones is playing great, and he fits. He fits. He's a Bill Belichick guy, and he fits that system. And Bill Belichick, he looks like a genius just waiting around the number 16 spot and taking the quarterback of the future, and he's looking great. All right, hey, Mr. Robinson, what's your NFL hot take?
Right now, the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Jesus.
Here we go.
I hate to say it. The Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Good hot take. Freddie, stop shaking your head. This ain't the Giants. This ain't the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. I know you're a new Packers fan, but come on. What's your NFL hot take?
Chris, I know you don't know better, but don't you ever come on this show with that dribble, that nonsense again. You know better.
Be hot.
I'm going to teach you. Don't worry. this offseason in the NFL, Russell Wilson will become the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, I said it. This is the last year Tom Brady, because you know what? Hey, can we be honest? I mean, if you mean to tell me if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had an option to upgrade quarterback from Russell Wilson from a 40-year-old Tom Brady, they wouldn't do it. They would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
That's not true. There's no
Is
way.
that an upgrade?
Yeah.
That is not an upgrade.
How's it not upgrade?
Only thing you
Tom
get
Brady
out
is
of
the
Westbrook.
greatest there is.
But eventually, we're going to see him slow down. Eventually, hey, Father Time catch up to everybody.
It won't be this year.
It won't be this year, and I'm not
It
saying
won't be
odds
this year.
Odds are Father Time will catch up with Wilson before Brady.
Okay.
I truly feel once Tampa gets their defense back on point, which they will. It will. That shit.
Can we clearly say Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Tom Brady? Can we clearly just go ahead and say that?
No,
he's not a better quarterback. Absolutely not.
And he's a better runner. That's it.
I can say that he can throw the football better because we've seen some slippage with Tom Brady. I mean, let's not act like we haven't seen that.
He just came back and played against the Green Bay Packers, and Russell Wilson did not impress me. He didn't get the ball.
He's been off how long now?
I like it.
But how long ago has he been away from the game now?
Oh, that's not an excuse. I'm sorry.
Oh,
We're in the NFL. This is not YMCA football. This is the NFL. You don't pay a man that much money and have him not come back. And let's be honest, he already said he was out there on the field. He was doing his little mental mind check games. He was absolutely ready. That's not an excuse. He just got outplayed. That football game actually was very pedestrian, and even your boy Aaron Rodgers didn't even look all that good. Honestly, that was not a good game amongst the quote-unquote good teams of the NFL. To be honest,
I disagree.
Are we considering Seattle to be a good team?
What's that?
Do we consider Seattle a good team right now?
Not right now.
I think if Russell had not got hurt, it would have kept that chemistry and that momentum going. Possibly it would have been a lot better off. But no, I think Seattle, to be honest with you, I think Seattle's just kind of past its prime now. Honestly, I'm not saying they're in rebuild mode, but I think their heyday is kind of come and gone. And I think Green Bay's heyday is coming and going.
Yeah, I think the window for Seattle's closed. And just so we're clear, I believe Tom Brady's leading the league in passing touchdowns. He's third in yards, and he has less interceptions than pretty much anybody. So this idea he's falling off a cliff, I can't throw the ball, and he's doing that without
I didn't say he was falling off the cliff. I said it was any time that can happen anytime because he is in his middle 40s.
So the slippage is he still has the best stats in the league. That's the slippage. Okay.
Well, I will say this: if Tampa Bay want to continue winning Super Bowls, they will not. They should not depend on a 45-year-old quarterback that we don't know when Father Time will be knocking at the door. When you have a young Russell Wilson who can use his legs and his arms just as good as Tom Brady in his career right now, and when you have opportunity to get him, that's all I'm saying.
Freddie, I will say this:
bless you.
I agree, Russell will be gone. But had you picked any other team in the NFL, I would agree with you. But you picked that. If you'd have said Green Bay, if you'd have said the Rams, you could have said anybody. I might have agreed with you. But he is not. They are not pushing Tom out the door if Tom wants to come back next year.
Tom is writing his own check out there. They're not questioning Tom.
Oh, look, somebody out of Facebook jail.
Mike Hughes.
What's up, Mike?
I tell you, I think the Tampa just needs to get that defense back on point, and that team's going to be just fine. They're not going to have no issue, man. And watch Antonio Brown and Gronk. Let's be honest. Yeah. Gronk is Brady's security blanket. I mean, if Gronk comes back, which he's not that far from coming back. He's questionable right now. That means he'll be back in the next couple. He'll definitely be ready come crunch time, and so will AB. And once those two pieces come back, Fred, I'm telling you, man, just go on ahead. Pack up the Packers, put them up there on the shelf where they were last year when they didn't do nothing last year.
We'll put them on the shelf with the Cowboys.
Can you hear that? Can you hear the ticket parade right now? I can hear it. I can hear it in Tampa. Right now, they already got the ticket parade going. Cranking it up.
We'll put them in the same shelf as the Cowboys.
Hey, listen, my Cowboys gonna be in there too, man. I really believe the Cowboys are gonna be. Look, let's be honest. If anybody who watched the Cowboys and Tampa Bay game at Week 1, everybody knows when Zerline missed the extra point, Zerline missed a 3-pointer. Zerline cost them that game. Tampa did not beat the Cowboys, and Cowboys did not beat themselves. That no. The kicker cost them the game. It's just point blank and simple. They lost by 3. They lost. No, okay. So you're telling me that if you would have made the field goal,
Chris Godwin fumble at the half-yard line?
Exactly.
Like there was like 3 or 4 turnovers in that game as well.
No, I get those turnovers. What I'm saying is that if they would have converted that field goal and that extra point, we wouldn't even be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I won't go that far. I ain't going that far. I mean, it's still Tampa, defending champion.
Oh, it's still Tampa. It's still Tampa, but we definitely would have taken that W. We would have got that W.
Cowboys.
And let's be honest. If you looked at the Cowboys team of last year, it was horrible. Well, if you look at the whole NFC East last year, it was just horrible. Look how far they turned it around.
It's a horrible division.
It was sad. It was sad. I ain't gonna lie. But I tell you what, the addition of Dan Quinn, he has really gotten the Dallas defense back on the map.
Oh, here you go. It's
true. It's true.
Jay McLevin, you know what you Cowboy fans fail to realize? It wasn't hard to get a little bit better from what y'all was last year. Y'all was a history low. That's how bad y'all defense was. I mean, it's not hard to look a little bit better. You have one dude by the name Dick who's having a breakout season, have more interceptions than anybody in the NFL right now. But guess what? He gives up the most yards and he gives up big penalties. So, Parsons, he was a good pickup through the draft, a good young guy.
He was an excellent pickup.
I said this when he got him. I said, man, this dude has the potential of being like that next Aaron Donald impact where you can move him around in different positions where he can cause havoc. But other than that, I mean, you have DeMarcus Lawrence. You paid him that money. He did a Dez Bryant to y'all. He really haven't done much since. So I mean, you got Van Der Esch. You got a lot of big names. I mean, but I'm not going to speak out of
the thing, though, Freddie. When Gregory went down, when Lawrence went down with the foot, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys should really be called the Dallas Next Man Up team because the Next Man Up have done extremely well. We haven't, even though we don't have Lawrence and Gregory, we really didn't drop a beat. We can't run on rolling. When you take out the exception of the Denver game. Now the Denver game, hey, I don't know what happened to that Denver game. I'm gonna just put that up there as it is what it is. But no, our defense is on point. Speaking of which, let's segue over to Antonio Brown. We were talking about Tampa a minute ago. Line about the vaccine card. His chef, I guess he told his chef that he had a line about his vaccine cards. I guess he put a whole page out of the Aaron Rodgers book. What do you think about that, Freddie? Since I know Aaron Rodgers is your guy, what do you think about Antonio Brown lying about his vaccination?
I think he's muted.
Hey, Freddie, I think you're muted, buddy.
Oh, my bad. It's been one of those situations where Antonio Brown, before he went to the Patriots to join Tom Brady, was always in the news for something. It was something ever since he left Pittsburgh. It's been a problem. Tom Brady took a chance out on you, Antonio Brown. He took a chance on you when nobody else wanted to touch you. When nobody else wanted to touch you, you let this man, and he let you come stay with him and his family. Okay? I mean, just think about this. Just think about how serious this is, you guys. Tom Brady let a man who's been in the news for the wrong reasons come stay with him, his wife, and his children. Just think about that. And then, Tom leaves New England, went to Tampa. And so now, who did Tom Brady want to come other than Rob Gronkowski? He wanted Antonio Brown to come. So right now, last year, people are like, Antonio Brown, he's cleaning his image. He's changing the way we should think of him. Now this comes up. Mm-hmm. Man, what's wrong? Like I said about Aaron Rodgers, what's wrong with just telling the truth? What's wrong with coming out and saying, I'm not vaccinated? And to all our viewers, I don't care. I'm not talking about him I'm not telling him he should go get the vaccine. That he have a decision. But he had the decision. Either he can come say, I don't want to get vaccinated, but then guess what? When you don't, you have to go take other tests. take tests? You have to wear your mask around certain folks. You can't do this, can't do that. Or you could go get vaccinated. You have a little bit more freedom to do what you want to do. But like Aaron Rodgers, hey, you lied. I mean, even though you might didn't verbally say it, you lied, and this could be a federal case as well for showing a fake ID vaccination card. And it's going to be interesting what the NFL is going to do. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen to Antonio Brown. Will they release him? I don't know. I know he will get fined for this. I don't know what's going to happen in the legal standard of this, but it's going to be very interesting. And this could be a big blow.
Absolutely. Chris Robinson, what do you think about that, brother?
Man, for the first time in forever, Freddie was 100% right. I agree with everything he said. I agree with everything he said. AB just, should have just been honest about it. Like, okay, I'm not vaccinated. I don't know what the NFL policy is on it or the Florida policy. So I really don't think it would have been that serious. He still could play, do whatever he needs to do. I hope he gets a big fine, and he has to face a suspension for this. I don't think he's going to be let go by Tampa, but he has, whenever he's ready to come back, he has to miss a couple of games.
Yeah. Before Ray wraps this one up, at what point, since we're talking about COVID vaccination and lying about it and, being dishonest about it, at what point does Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers get fined or levying punishments coming down on him?
Well, they did fine him like 14.
Did they fine him?
Yeah, was it like
nothing?
Yeah, it was a slap on the wrist. Like they did, like it was like 14,000, I believe.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. I remember that. All right, Big Ray, what do you think about AB and talking to a chef and all this craziness about it?
So I guess I gotta be the voice of reason here. So just for perspective, from what I understand, his lawyer has come out and said he is vaccinated, and Tampa Bay said all the tests that they got were approved and they didn't show any wrongdoing. I think it said all vaccination cards were reviewed by the Buccaneers personnel and no irregularities were observed. So just for perspective, I do want to put that out. However, if we're going under the premise that he lied, to say we just talked about Aaron Rodgers. So if you think AB should be suspended and Aaron Rodgers got a slap on the wrist, that makes no sense to me. In this case, the Buccaneers, maybe they're trying to say that there's deniability on their part, but that's your responsibility to know. So I would hold you responsible, as well as AB. But it is AB. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lied. But as of now, it appears, there's a discrepancy with that. The last piece that I would say that in relation to him and this situation is, you ask why would he lie? Have you heard how they treated Kyrie Irving when he said he didn't want to get it? Have you seen what the divisiveness of this country has towards people, especially celebrities, who come out and say they're not trusting of it or they're not in favor of it or don't support it? They kill them for it. Their brand stake hits, potentially paychecks are lost. Like, I believe Aaron Rodgers lost one of his sponsorships when they found out he lied about it.
Yeah, because he lied about it. It's not because he didn't get it. It's because he lied about it. Nobody's hating Kyrie for not getting it. We respect Kyrie.
Taking a strong stance against it, I'm sure there would have been some backlash. If you personally come out
and
say,
the thing, though.
I don't support it, people are killing you for it.
Yeah, okay, that's two different things, though. Like, that's you not supporting it as opposed to you not getting it. That's two different things. Like, if Kyrie was just like, no, I'm not getting it. Okay, fine. We're not mad at you for that.
But they are.
You're a human. No, we're mad that you drug it on. You made this whole big, ordeal about it. Brooklyn doesn't know what to do. Like,
he's been very clear.
Well, no, he's not been very clear.
He has not. That's been the problem.
He's not been clear.
Because first of all, I'm gonna tell you, it's more than a vaccine to me when it comes to Kyrie Irving. The reason why Brooklyn's upset with him is more because it's always something with him. It's always he's never available for his team. I think that's
never available.
Where did Kyrie go for 2 weeks last year? We don't know. Yeah.
When is he?
So now we're killing him for mental health because he said he needed some time away because he was dealing with personal issues.
He could have told anybody.
Did he say that? I think it was this team didn't know where he was at. His boss didn't know where he's at. I mean, Ray, just check this out. You work for a job. My job. I go to work every day. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go take 2 weeks off. I'm not gonna tell the boss. I'm not going to tell nobody. I'm just going to teammates. I'm just going to take off. That's the problem. Me and you can't do that.
But we're not him. What do you mean?
But that's but that's just a job, though.
You're a leader. Why? Like, you can't do that. No.
So now you cannot compare what we would do at our regular jobs with what he does at his job. He is the franchise player.
He's not.
No, he's not the franchise.
I don't know. He's a franchise. I would probably put
franchise player, but he's not the. No.
Okay. The semantics. He's the guy that brought KD there. He's the guy that has helped facilitate James Harden coming there. He said what he believes, and when he said that, people killed him for his reasoning. Now,
and then if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm James Harden. I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like,
he told him.
No, he did not tell them. No, they didn't know where he was at. No.
You're talking about this year or last year?
I'm talking about last year when he went on the 2 week. He left for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
whatever.
He was gone.
If he has a personal issue, yes, he should have let his bosses know. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
He should let his brothers know too.
No, I don't agree with that.
How? It's still a family unit.
If
it's a family unit, it's a team.
Family. Like, I have stuff that goes on in my household. I don't tell my coworkers. I'll tell my boss, but I don't.
That's different. That's different. If you call KD Harden your boys, your brothers, and you supposed to be the leader of that team, you need to at least let them know something.
Kyrie got them there. Like, you brought me here. Tell me what's going on.
And we don't know that they haven't had conversations. They might.
It was reports that they didn't even know. They came out and said they didn't even know where he's at.
Initially, yes. And at that time, we don't know what happened that could have transpired, but I don't believe he owes them, hey, whatever I'm going on in this crisis at this point in my life, I'm going to stop that to make sure I let you know.
And then you know what else is bad about it, Ray? There was
when
pictures.
life settles down, I'll let y'all know.
And you know what else? It was so bad about it, Ray? His pictures surfaced to the net that he was at a party without a mask on.
Yeah. You know, the problem with Kyrie is always the same. There's a stigma attached to his name. Kyrie Irving has a stigma attached to it, and everybody knows it. He has a rep for not showing up, not being there, not being reliable, not being dependable. If you want to be the guy, then you got to be the guy.
This isn't that.
And you can't vacate just because you want to vacate, because that's not being the guy. That's not being the leader. I mean, I'm sorry, the great one. Kobe Bryant ain't doing it. The great one. MJ didn't do it. So why is Kyrie doing it?
MJ quit for 2 years.
But why did he quit, though, Ray? What was he going through?
So he went through something.
But we don't know what the hell Kyrie ever went through. All we know that this dude left.
He doesn't have to tell us.
At the very least, he ain't got to go through details with everybody. But at the very least, he could have said, "Hey, listen, I've got to take some time off."
That's it.
Just say something.
I don't need to know what it is.
Last year, I'm talking about this year. He was clear and has come out on what the reason he is and why he's not getting the vaccine.
They didn't know. Nobody knew.
He had to go on Instagram Live and let people know.
Oh, okay. You know what? I want to touch this, because you know what? Let's have a conversation. I know it wasn't a topic, but hell, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. He comes out and say he wants to be the voice for the voiceless. He's defending for the ones that can't get jobs because of the vaccine.
No, they got fired for their jobs.
Yeah, right. Okay, Irving, what about the ones that have lost loved ones? What about the ones that have lost loved ones because of this vaccine or because of COVID? I mean, one thing that I will say, and this is, even when he was off the 2 weeks, it wasn't because of mental illness. It's because he wanted to go fight for the social injustice. But my thing, I said this then, you can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. There's never been in the time of history where we said this, we can stop working. Like, this dude signed a contract to play basketball. Why can't, if you want to do these things, Kyrie, step away from the game of basketball. Because what you're doing is you're holding a roster spot for some kid out there that has worked their tail off, that earns a spot, but you're holding it off because you want to do other things. If you want to do those things, step away from the game. Because right now, he's hurting because he's being and I hate to be this dude because I love Kyrie. Kyrie's a great player, but he's being a selfish teammate. Aaron Rodgers was a selfish teammate with what he did. And I 100% believe that because like Chris said, he was the reason why Kevin Durant went to Brooklyn. James Harden is he's the reason why he's there. They have goals to win championships. But guess what? They're not going to do it clearly without him. And so you just leaving your brother hanging yet again. And right now, ever since he left Cleveland, Kyrie Irving has had a bad rep. He went to Boston. What happened? It didn't work. Now he's here. The first year, got hurt. The second year, went missing. Now this. What he's doing is he's creating a bad reputation about himself. And it's not good. And you know what? Maybe he needs to be under a guy like LeBron that can kind of keep him under control. I don't know.
Cleveland LeBron tried to play with Kyrie. They got one championship, and after that, Bron was even tired. Bron was like, "I'm done with this."
So just for the record, was Kyrie played in the playoffs last year, right? He got hurt, but he was in the playoffs. He was there, right?
Yeah, but if he would have,
up 3-1,
yeah, but in my opinion, if he would have approached the regular season the right way, it might have went differently.
So when it mattered the most, he was there, and they were up 3-1.
They were.
Okay, I just want to make
sure.
They
were. I mean, they were, but what does it matter? I mean, they still lost.
We're talking about a 2-week sabbatical he took, and you can criticize him however you want. LeBron took 2 weeks off too when he was in Miami when his back was hurting. So
he had a reason.
Okay, he publicized the reason. Kyrie had his reason. You guys are criticizing the reason. The point is, LeBron took 2.
I'm not criticizing the reason. I'm criticizing the lack of not communicating it.
It's a communication piece.
He's a grown man. He let his bosses know after the fact. I agree.
After the fact, that's the thing.
He should have let his boss know. He took the time, and when the playoffs got here, he showed up. He showed up for LeBron all those years. He showed up last year in the playoffs, and then he got hurt. This year, took a stand. And to call him selfish for sacrificing $15 million or whatever it is to that's selfish.
I'm talking about his selfish to his teammates. I'm talking about on a basketball aspect.
He chose to take a stand for people that nobody cares about.
Okay,
the people that everybody's criticizing.
Is he still on the roster? Is he still on the roster right now?
He is.
Why?
Ask the Brooklyn Nets. If they're so upset, cut him. If they're so upset, cut him.
For what though? You can't cut him for that.
What you mean?
He can retire. He can leave.
I don't need to leave. If you don't want to, this is a New York rule. If he lived in almost any other state, he'd be perfectly happy and be able to play.
But he doesn't. He's also going to New York.
So if the Brooklyn Nets are so upset, cut him. Same thing with Ben Simmons. If y'all are this upset by the things he's doing, cut him.
But there comes a time where you have to act like a professional.
He did.
When? No.
How did he came out and gave y'all the explanation? The very thing that y'all wanted, he sat up and told y'all why he's taking a stand. How's that being unprofessional?
Listen, Ray, me and you, I guess we're talking two different ways. All I'm saying is I'm talking about on a basketball level. He got these guys to Brooklyn. They have goals. They should be the favorite to win the championship.
And had those rules been in place and then he recruited them,
are we sure?
I would agree with you.
Are we sure?
Rules changed.
Are we sure? Are we sure, even if those rules would change, that he would still be on the court right now?
No,
I don't know.
Had he knew he was going to take this stance and then recruited them, I agree with you 100%. When he recruited them, these rules didn't exist.
But I think Kyrie still would have found time off, even if this rule wasn't here.
Well, now you're speculating.
No, I'm just going off of history, what he's done.
I won't go that far. He wouldn't do what he is right now.
This is what he's done, Chris.
He wouldn't do it right now. He wouldn't be as bad as he is right now. He would have played a game. He would have played this season by now.
Kyrie is very like this dude in his mind. If there was no
vaccine mandate, Kyrie would be on the court every game this year unless he got
Whoa. I ain't going that far either. I ain't going that far either.
I can't say that.
Every game. He doing every game.
This is a man that thinks the earth is flat. This is a man that said that he don't need a head coach. This is the man that did the sage thing in Boston. This is a man that Kyrie's
beliefs are different from yours.
When you talking about talent, Kyrie has top talent in the NBA.
Okay.
One of the best guards in the NBA.
We agree.
But he doesn't have the Mamba mentality. That's the problem. He's not even close to a Mamba mentality. He's so far distracted. He's so far distracted from the game of basketball that I don't think Kyrie is going to lead that team to a championship. This is point blank.
And I got to backtrack, Freddie, because you said something that I think is really important. To me, I disagree. I don't think when it comes to the issues of social justice, you can walk and chew gum. Because what I've seen is since that when Milwaukee when they sat the game out, That created a response. Since then, since basketball's gotten back to normal and they made all these jerseys and put all these names on the back, ain't nobody talking about that stuff anymore. Ain't no traction coming from the NBA on that anymore. What would have happened if they would have just said, we're not playing into perpetuity until y'all fix these laws? We just dealt with the situation in Oklahoma today, where
Ray, what I'm talking when I say that, what I mean, I'm not talking about the NBA. I'm talking about over years of history. This is not the first time we've been through this. This is not the first year. This has been going for years. But us in America, we still have to go to work no matter what's going on. And even though that Kyrie Irving makes millions of dollars to play basketball, but guess what? He's contracted. He still has to do a job, and that job is to play basketball.
And if he feels something is more important than basketball,
then he needs to step away. He needs
to go join some organization and make that his career.
So why can't his organization support his decision?
Because at the end of the day,
they can let him go and let him go do what he needs to do.
Because at the end of the day, they pay him to play basketball.
That's
why.
It's more than just basketball.
To him.
No, to them. He doesn't just play basketball. They want him at different events. They want him doing a whole bunch of stuff that's not just basketball.
But guess that's what they pay him to do.
Because if he got arrested off the basketball court, they would still suspend him.
But that's what he get paid to do, Ray.
I'm with you. And now he's sacrificing some of that salary. And I think if they were to say we're not paying you at all, he'd be fine with that too.
Well, I'll say this. I believe that, he's going to come to a point, if by February, if he's not there, they're either going to cut him or they're going to trade him. And I don't know who. There's not too many teams that's going to touch him right now, neither.
I agree. But that's a decision that they'll have to make. And the reason they haven't done it is because they're hoping New York changes the mandate. And when that happens, none of this is non-issue.
Because I will say this other night, KD up there like, man, I should have stayed down there in the Bay. I should have stayed down there with the light-skinned brothers down there.
I know we're talking about that later, but
because hey, he didn't have to worry about Steph not coming to work. He didn't have to worry about that. Hey,
that's true. Steph had some injury issues early on, but he's seen that.
Yeah, but hey,
I would argue 2 years ago, Steph sat out the whole year with like a broken wrist, and I looked at him.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's still a better situation he's in right now.
Oh, 100%. I'm not disagreeing with you, Elman.
All right, let's get back to football before we do. Hey, what's going on, Coach? Welcome to the show, my brother.
What's up, man?
Man, we're just watching, Ray and Freddie discuss, political and sports and everything else in between. And but we're going to segue back over to NFL real quick. Talk about this preview of this New England and Atlanta game. Right now, the score is 10-0. What do y'all think about this? I think Atlanta just, man, I tell you what, it's very pedestrian right now, this game, as I've been watching it. But it looks like Atlanta's just rolling over, playing dead this year. I think it's time for them to start looking at doing a rebuild. I mean, honestly, your best asset is Kyle Pitts at this point. What do you think, Freddie?
Yeah, I mean, can we get more games on Thursday night instead of trash night football? I mean, this Patriots team is, destined to go to the playoffs with Mac Jones. They look good defensively, and they about to, get clicking on the offense. It's like you said, it's 2 minutes, a minute left. It's 1st and 10. They're on their 40. So we'll see if they can be able to score going to the two halftime. But like I said, I mean, Atlanta, they got a lot of issues to fix. It's about time to move on from Matt Ryan and figure out what they're going to do with him. Like I said, it's a lot. They have a lot of work to do. Not much really talk about the Thursday night football game, unfortunately.
Coach, what do you think about this Thursday night game?
One thing about Atlanta's either really good, like, okay, here they go, or it's like, oh my God. Like, that's the hit and miss with Atlanta, man. Because some of these games, like I said, they're 4-5. The 4 games they won, okay, they was there. But the 5 games they lost, she was like, God dang. They just got a lot of issues.
Yeah, especially when they played Dallas. I mean, when they played Dallas, I don't even think they came out the locker room. I think I don't know who they set out to play against Dallas. I don't know if that was the cheerleaders dressed up as the players, but it was horrible. I mean, that game was just terrible. It was garbage right from the beginning on Atlanta's side.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think about this game with Atlanta and New England?
Man, I think we're talking about Brady and Russ on the cliff. I think Matty Ice, that's who fell off the cliff. My man won MVP, and then he just sucked. Like one day he just woke up and I'm gonna be trash. I don't know what's going on with Matt Ryan, but
yeah,
ACL gotta let him go.
At least try to get rid of get some draft picks out of him while you still got a little bit of life left in him. See what you can get for him.
I mean,
I think you might be able to get a second or a third rounder for him. That's better than nothing.
That's true.
I mean, hey, at this point, at that team they just need to accumulate draft picks, at least as many as they can, and try to find that next gem. Wait, hey, all right, so let's go down to Ray Bonds. What do you think about this New England versus Atlanta game?
I mean, I think Freddie kind of said it. There's a good team, a potential playoff team, and then there's another team. I agree. I think Matt Ryan's been done since after that 28-3 game. Atlanta just hasn't been the same.
Sure.
Clean house, get rid of that bad juju or whatever you want to call it. He's not the answer. I don't think he's a starter in NFL, to be perfectly honest. I can't see where you would send him that he could go start. I think they need to rebuild. We just talked about not to go backwards, but Calvin really just dipped. And I guess we're waiting to see when he's going to return. It seems like, I guess it was a significant issue, but that doesn't help someone like Kyle Pitts because now he's getting all the attention. I think that's stunning his growth. They don't run the ball well. I am curious to see how New England will follow up. So far, they're up 10-0. That was a huge win over Cleveland. So I was curious to see going on the road, coming off that big win, how they would respond. The defense is throwing a shutout right now. So I'm definitely glad to see that they're keeping that momentum, keeping their foot on the gas, and they should bring this home. And they're going to start putting pressure on Buffalo. That division might come down to the wire.
Yeah, I definitely think that Bill Belichick, he hit pay dirt when he was able to. And I mean, Mac Jones just fell right into his lap. And I really think that's going to be another 15, 16. They were talking about how much longer can Bill Belichick go on in the league? Well, I mean, if you got a quarterback like Mac Jones and he can keep playing at the level and getting better and better as he plays along, I mean, you're looking at another 15 years that Bill Belichick can look freaking good. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for Bill and for Mac Jones. I mean, it could be the Brady 2.0. I don't think it's going to be as good. I'm going to say it's going to be as good as Brady because it's too young. But I mean, at the way it's looking, at very least, he could get him a couple of championships if he continues to progress and get and go down that road. So we'll see. I think Bill found pay dirt though.
I think the other piece is, and that kind of gets overlooked, is a lot of people are criticizing the Patriots for all the money they spent this offseason. And a lot of those guys are actually turning out to be okay. Nelson Aguilar caught a touchdown tonight. He was basically done. I forget the young receiver they had, N'Keal Harry. People thought he was done. Yeah. They traded away Stephon Gilmore, who won Defensive Player of the Year last year, and that defense is still top notch. So a lot of people criticized the talent that Belichick had brought in when Brady was there towards the end. But I would say it looks like he had a plan, and he's starting to put some talent around this young guy. The running backs they've drafted and played have done really well also. So I think Belichick's back on the wagon. I think last year was a down year, but he's showing just how good he is at what he does.
I mean, this is very uncharacteristic for Bill Belichick to spend well over $70 million, to bring these free agents. That's not what he does. He doesn't spend, that much money bringing talent in. He tries to find the bargain basement guy and take the bargain basement guy and turn him into something phenomenal and then get rid of him and then bring in another interchangeable piece. That's the Bill Belichick model. So this is the first time that he's gotten away from that model, and he's still doing Bill Belichick. So I kind of see where that cap, how they maneuver the cap and see how they go forward into next year and so forth. As they maybe want to go bring in other pieces, but I mean, Bill Belichick he's looking like Bill. All right, we're going to segue over to the front runner for MVP. I still think if Kyler Murray can come back and be healthy and play like he was before he got injured, I think Kyler Murray can still make a move for that. What do you think, Chris?
I have to go off of what my hot take was earlier. With the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, my MVP.
Oh, you said the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl?
I said going to the Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl.
No.
My MVP is going to be Dak Prescott.
Don't hate, Coach. We going. We going, Coach.
Dak's going to be MVP. He came back. They looked trash against Denver and had a hell of a bounce back game against Atlanta. I mean, what's his like? How many interceptions has he thrown this year? Like
Not
5
many.
or something? Yeah, it's not many at all. I mean, he's always accurate. Nobody
I
said
think
that
the telltale for Dak is when he goes against Kansas City on Sunday. When he goes against Kansas City, if he plays extremely well against Kansas City, that's going to be another feather in the cap for that MVP, like you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay, Coach, who's your MVP?
I was going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, listen, don't blaspheme the Cowboys.
I ain't even a Cowboy fan, man. It's just you got to respect what they're doing right now.
They won't. I'm gonna comment on that. They won't go to the Super Bowl because they don't. There's two teams. No matter what, just the matchup doesn't match for them. Because at number one, you don't have no pressure up the middle, so that automatically causes them a lot of trouble. But to answer your question, the MVP in the NFL, I mean, it's up for grabs. Like I said, Kyler Murray, if he's healthy, I think he should get it. You can go to quarterback for the Rams. I can't even think his name right now. Because I'm stuck on this Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, you better watch out. You wake up one day, you realize it's true. The Cowboys are there, and
they don't know because they can't beat the Bucks, so you can't beat the Rams.
We already said that they beat the Bucks. I'm telling you, you can't help what Zerline missed.
They didn't. They didn't beat the Packers in the playoffs, and they didn't beat the Bucks this year.
They beat the Bucks. I'm telling you, they beat the Bucks. The Bucks got lucky that we missed two field goals.
Okay. All right.
I mean, think about it, right? If they would have converted those field goals, would we be talking about Tampa and Dallas?
Okay, so by that measure, then the Vikings beat the Cardinals. So Kyler Murray lost to the Vikings because that was a walk-off field goal that they missed that they should have won.
Yeah.
How many games?
I mean, if you don't convert, you don't convert. But think about it. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know if you watch what Zerline missed that field goal, it wasn't like a hard field goal.
Excuse me, Jay.
It was like 30 yards. Like, I don't know how you missed 30 yards.
Mr. J, if I go to the gas station right now and I buy a lotto ticket, I had a chance to win it when I scratched it. I had a chance.
Not necessarily, because if you would have saw the $3 million in there, but you didn't quite get all the gray off of it, well then it is what it is.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
No, better yet, you won the ticket. You got the $1 million, but you dropped the ticket on the ground and somebody else picked it up.
So you don't get the money.
It is exactly. So Kevin Zerline dropped the lottery ticket, and the Cowboys didn't get it. You're exactly right. I'm gonna give you that one. Absolutely.
Hey, but
I'm so pissed at Zerline right now. I'm still pissed at that guy.
To answer your question, man, it's all up for grabs, man. You can't really tell because it's still early, and it goes week to week. If you look at even the team picking teams, everybody, this is a mistake. So like right now, you can't say nobody because all the people that's supposed to be MVP didn't even really play.
I tell you, he's not looking like an MVP. Patrick Mahomes. He ain't looking very MVP right now.
Who?
Patrick Mahomes.
He looks
good. He's turning it up, though.
Stop it, Coach.
He's turning it around. He had a rough start, but he's coming with it now.
Man,
you guys know why he's saying that because the Chiefs play who Sunday?
Hey, answer the question. Are they not winning the division?
Have you seen that division? What's their record? Their record is not. They don't have a great division right now. That's
have you seen Dallas division?
You can't say that.
Oh yeah, well,
are the Cowboys winning their division? What was the?
I agree. Hey, listen, I agree. The NFC East. Hey, listen, that division it's seen better days.
But again, like I said from the beginning, man, a lot of people, especially on watching these sportcasts, they look at it. It's a sprint. Man, this thing is a marathon, man. You're going to lose.
It's a marathon. I'll give you that.
You can say the same thing. Regardless of the situation, you say the Kansas City Chiefs. Pat Mahomes don't look like an MVP. They're winning now. And if they win Sunday, what's the excuse? You can't say they improved. The object is to be when game 14, 15, 16, 17, we rocking and we rolling. Those are the weeks that count. Nobody cares if you won the first 6 games of the season. And that's the knock on for me, the Cardinals. The injury prone. Kyler Murray he's too small. He can't go 17 weeks with that kind of offense. But like I said, right now, Kyler Murray is the guy. because Derrick Henry got hurt. Or even look, I don't even want to say his name because I don't feel like hearing Freddie's mouth right now about him. That's what I know he's gonna say. I mean, that's what I truly believe. It's just when it comes to the MVP, you can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna really hit to like that week 15, 16, 17. I see my man Bud Chronicle. What's your name, sir?
Ray Bonds. What you got? Let's bring you in the conversation, Ray. Let's bring you in the conversation and tell us who your MVP is, because then you're there shaking your head, which I agree totally with what you're thinking.
So I don't know this Kyler Murray train. Like I get it. He was a nice flavor of the week early in the year, but he played 8 games. He has 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's thrown for a little over almost 2,300 yards. So I know it's old. I know we talked about him earlier. I know you guys don't want to hear about it. But there's a guy in Tampa that's leading the league in passing touchdowns. He has 7 picks, which is less than Lamar Jackson, less than Matt Stafford, less than Patrick Mahomes, has one of the highest QB ratings, and he's currently 3rd in the league in passing. And that's only because the 2 people who have more yards played an additional game. He's doing it with a subpar defense. He's doing it without his number 1 tight end. He's doing it without arguably his best receiver. He's had other people in and out of the lineup. Tom Brady's the MVP. Like,
I can't be mad at that. I really can't be mad at you for that.
But he don't want
I can't either. I mean, it's true. I mean, damn.
I know he came off a bad loss, but the first interception, that's not his fault. Washington got up. They went on a long drive at the end of the game. They couldn't get the ball out of Taylor Heineke's hands. The defense just is not good enough. And they've had a ton of injuries in the secondary, and they're still 6-3. He's still putting up ridiculous numbers. He's still super efficient. Like, yes, I agree. Everybody's had some bad games, but the MVP is Tom Brady, and to me, it's not even close. Kyler Murray, as great as people think he is, they should have lost to the Vikings, which we talked about, who are not really a good team. They're only 6-3, and he's turning the ball over, and he's injury prone, and he's missed more games. Like, it's only one answer, and I know nobody wants to hear it, but Tom Brady's the MVP.
Nah,
people want to hear that.
That's a good one. I mean,
you
can't argue with it. You can't argue with it. I mean, it's Tom. I mean, hey, come on, Tom is Tom. That's why he's got 7 rings. He's 45 years old. I don't even know if they say, well, Father Time will catch up to everybody. I don't know, man. Dad, come every time I look at Brady. I don't know if I don't know what he's got his own meal plan. I don't know what kind of food is in his meal plan, but I need to get some of this food. Because I think he's that man playing the fountain of youth.
Avocado ice cream.
I need to get a whole bucket of avocado ice cream now, if that's the case, because he's got his own meal plan. He's got, the guy just doesn't slow down. It's crazy. Freddie, what do you think, man? Who's your MVP? I know you're probably going to say Aaron Jones, but go ahead and say Aaron Jones. Just say Aaron Jones. I mean, not Aaron Jones.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Thank you.
Coach came on here. I just think Coach, he'd be on the Sunday crew, touchdown crew. You have Mike down there. You can't dictate what I'm gonna say, Coach, because you don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth. I ain't saying no Aaron Rodgers, even though he looked good, even though they're the best team in the NFC right now. I'm going with Lamar Jackson. Yes,
I'm not mad at that pick either.
Yes, I said it. And you know what, Ray? You can shake your head to say because you said he's not an elite quarterback, but guess what? He's playing the quarterback position and the running back position this year. Like I said the other night, he came in the season, thought he was going to be the quarterback. But what happened before the season started? All his top running backs went down. And so guess what? This year, I got his numbers up. He played, he had about 2,400 yards of completions. He's completed 64% of his passes. That's right under Tom Brady, under Aaron Rodgers. So he's right under them. And then, he got 14 touchdowns. You have, not that many interceptions.
Half as many touchdowns as Tom Brady? Well, more.
No, he don't. But guess what? Tom Brady's not being asked to be the running back as well. Tom Brady have weapons all around the football field. Say it again?
Tom Brady don't need a running back.
But guess what? We all know that Baltimore offense like to go off the run. So it's time to give Lamar Jackson the respect that he deserves. He's having another great season. That team do not move without Lamar Jackson. Who's
not giving him his respect though?
Ray
said he's not better than Tom Brady.
I didn't say he was better than Tom Brady.
No, I said he's not. I said I think he's very good. I said he's not elite.
No, you didn't say that. Jay, what did he say Monday? What did he say about Lamar Jackson on Monday?
I said he's very good. He's not elite.
Yeah, he did. He said it.
He said he's not an elite quarterback, and we all know that's not true. Lamar,
he said Lamar because we were having. Matter of fact, that's when we were talking about Kelsey Nelson. I mean, and that's when me and Ray Bonds we kind of melded a little bit there. We were talking about he's not elite because he ain't made the postseason and won the postseason. Now, unless you win the postseason,
there's not a lot of quarterbacks. Let me ask you a question. You call Dak Prescott a great quarterback?
He's a good quarterback. He's not elite yet. I'm sorry. You got to win in the postseason. You got to win in the postseson because you get to.
That's hard to say because I mean, look at all the times Peyton Manning didn't do anything in the postseason. Was he not elite?
He ran into.
He got to the promised land twice with two different teams.
So before that, was he not elite? Because he was always one and done.
Who?
I think he was good, and he did eventually get to the mountaintop.
Who are we talking about?
I don't like throwing around words like elite when you haven't gotten to the mountaintop. If you haven't gotten to the mountaintop, I don't like throwing that word around.
Shout out to my mom. She watching.
Hey. And I see somebody in the comments said Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper's having an amazing year. I just don't know if I can give him the MVP, but he's having a phenomenal year.
He's good. Yeah. I mean, you can't. That's the thing. You can't. It's whoever's hot, man. That's just like even the Heisman. It's whoever has that game close to where it's time to pick the Heisman. Yeah. That's my vote. Like MVP, because it all depends on what's your definition of an MVP. Because some people look at it different. If you take, like you said, you take Lamar off that team, they're not winning another game. If you take Tom Brady off, they might win a couple games. You take Kyler Murray off, they win maybe one more game. Other than that,
they just had they won one big one without him. Was that Colt McCoy led that big old W they got 2 games ago?
Yeah, but
Colt McCoy got him a win,
and then he backdoored with a what?
He returned the form.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like when we talk about week 10, week 11, hey MVP, everybody's gonna say somebody this week. And then if we come back 3 weeks later, it's gonna be totally somebody different. And then
go to the NFL.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, man, when people ask me, I'm like, man, I don't. Nobody cares like Tom Brady. Tom Brady don't care about no. He wants Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, like he doesn't care about a regular season MVP. That's
I don't know, man. Like you don't think that would mean a lot to him getting it at 44?
No.
Yeah.
You've reached the pinnacle of MVP-ness when you can take the Super Bowl trophy on a little bitty boat out in the middle of the water and toss that thing across the river like it don't even mean anything anymore to somebody else, and it don't even matter if they catch it or not. Because you know why? Because you're Tom freaking Brady. You're Tom freaking Brady. And you can do what you want because when you win, you win. And that guy is a magnet for winning and endorsements and everything in between. Have you seen his wife? Hell, he won there too.
Yeah.
Everything he does, he pisses excellence.
Hey, Freddie, I got a question for you. I'm just curious. This is not a topic. Do you think today Baltimore would trade Lamar for Tom Brady straight up for this season?
No.
I know it was a pretty question.
Say it again?
Y'all tripping.
Why would Baltimore trade Lamar Jackson for Tom Brady? No.
But this year, Tom Brady makes them better. He has one of the best.
No, not with Baltimore, not with them receivers. Because one thing,
and there's no run game.
Hold on. Listen, I was with you all the way. I was agreeing with you, but not with them receivers. Because even that last game they played, the Dolphins, it wasn't Lamar. The receivers fumbled not with that group.
I'm pretty sure Tom would veto that trade anyway.
Tom would be like, "Oh no, man!"
Hey, Tom's hitting that veto button right and left as fast as he can.
Tom will go anywhere and make them better. Texans, Jets, Baltimore, he can't. Anywhere else, he can't.
Yeah. Brett Favre tried it. Brett Favre tried to make the Jets. Remember when he left Green Bay, he went to Minnesota, he went to the Jets, and both of them teams were horrible. Brett Favre, Hell, even what's his name? Joe Montana went to the Chiefs after the 49ers. You saw that didn't go anywhere.
He went to
Sometimes he's been the best quarterback in the world. You can't take teams that are destined for doom and make them great. You can't. I don't care. I mean, there's not anybody out there that can do it. Anyway, let's move on. We got other things to talk about. Let's talk about this Dallas and Chiefs game that we've been talking about. I'm gonna let Chris Robinson talk it off because he's gonna give us the truth, followed by a whole bunch of other craziness. So let's bring the truth up first.
It's gonna be a great test for both teams, to be honest. Both teams have a lot of momentum going. Hell, we might see these teams again in February. Yeah, I said it. I went there again.
Hey, y'all laugh, but it can happen.
It really could.
It can't. But go.
I'm sorry, kids. I'm laughing right now. That's just so funny.
I'm looking forward to it to see, the battle of two potential MVP candidates out of with Dak and Pat. I think Dak's gonna have a great performance, but I really think Casey's gonna pull it off.
Oh, that backfired on you, did you, Mr. J. McLovin?
Just Mahomes has momentum. He has that momentum.
Listen, hey, sometimes a bright light hit Chris the wrong way and it discombobulated him. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Listen, the way the Chiefs are playing right now, Chris, come on, man. I really kind of thought you was going to go the other way with that, but I'm gonna let you have. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm calling it. Dallas going to destroy the Chiefs. They're going to destroy them, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this on what's it, Tuesday or whatever.
Monday.
We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you, each one of y'all owe me an apology for how bad Dallas destroyed the Chiefs. But I know Coach over there, he just chomping at the bit to tell me how much of an idiot I am. So I'm gonna give it up to Coach. Coach, what you got about this Dallas and Chiefs?
I think he's more mad at my Super Bowl prediction.
No, I'm not worried about that no more. Hey, it is what it is. Here's the thing. I'm on the fence right now. I'm leaning more towards Kansas City. Like I said, biggest thing about it is you can't put pressure up the middle. They're gonna rush the outside. I think the running game for the Kansas City has been nowhere to be found. It's showed up a little bit the last time they played. So they're gonna run the ball on them. Down Diggs. He can't fall for the double move, and because they run man. And
yeah.
If you keep two, you gotta keep two. You have to keep two safeties over the top when you play the Chiefs. If you don't,
Tyreek Hill, oh hell yeah!
It's going to be a slaughterhouse because Diggs can't run with Tyreek.
Because if he's trying to get Tyreek, then you got to worry about Kelsey getting you underneath too. It's a potent offense when they're clicking on all cylinders.
But we say that, but then Dallas ain't clicking. Don't get me wrong. Don't sit here and say, "Well, they blew up. They blew up the Falcons, man. The Falcons, they the Falcons."
But we ain't talking about the Falcons. Trust me, I understand about that.
Where's the game played at?
I believe it's in Arrowhead, isn't it?
I think it's in Kansas City.
Yeah, I believe it's in Kansas City.
So I'm gonna go. I'm riding with the Chiefs. It's not even nothing about just because I'm not a Dallas hater. Like majority of people, I live in Texas, so majority of people around here love Dallas. It's the reality that you can rush up the field wide because you got ends. Your backers are fast, but they're small. And now it just all depends on if the three guys, the center and the guards, can work their way up to them backers. Then that is a running game. And then you got to bring a safety down. Once you bring that safety down, now you're talking about you expecting Diggs to stay over top. Offensively, Dallas looks good. Dallas can pretty much do whatever they want. But can they consistently do that?
Yeah.
It's going to be a momentum thing. So right now, I'm leaning towards the Chiefs because at the end of the day, we can say what you want. When you look across that field, you see Pat Mahomes, your heart beats. Your heart makes you think. I look across the field, I see Dak. Dak has to show me he can do it on a consistent basis. And he does, though. But I feel what you're saying. I mean that he hasn't put that fear. Like I haven't seen that drive. Not since he came back. He showed a little bit against Tampa, but they was. Like I said, right now, you can say what you want about the Chiefs defense. They're improving. They're getting better, regardless of the situation. They used to give up 40 points. Now they give up 21 or they give up 14.
All right, Ray, what you got for us, man?
I'm torn. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think there's two really good offenses, and I think there's two average at best defenses in this game. I do like that it's in Arrowhead for Kansas City. I think they're trending in the right direction. Pat Mahomes seems to be getting kind of into his groove. I think they're doing a better job of running the ball to open up some of that coverage, running people out of that deep shell that they're running. So I think I'm going to go KC. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, something like 37-34. I do think it'll come down to whoever has the ball last. I don't trust either defense to get the necessary stops if they need to get them to stop somebody from going down and getting a field goal. But I just think that Kansas City has more secondary players that can make a play. I think Matthew can make a play when you need him to. And Dallas in tight games, I think they'll make the mistake that Kansas City won't. But I do think it'll be really close, and I think it'll be high scoring. But I would give the nod to Kansas City. I also think they have a much better coach. I think I don't know if there's going to be any of that. I don't know what the little motivation that McCarthy did, the butt thing or whatever it was. I don't think that'll work this week.
All right, Fred, you want to wrap this one up for us?
Huh? I don't know. Yeah.
You're muted.
Hey, I know you. There you go.
I'm getting real happy, you guys. It's coming. It's coming. Hey, aren't we in November? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Aren't we getting close to when the Cowboys normally start to fall? It's getting close to that time, you guys. Thanksgiving coming right around the corner. I mean, hey, this is what you call a scary game. Jerry Jones gonna be up there. He's gonna be like this. Let's go, Dak. Let's go, Dak. But he gonna forget, like Coach said, he don't put fear in nobody's heart. Patrick Mahomes, he put fears in your heart because you don't know what that man gonna do. He can kill you inside the pocket. When he get outside the pocket, Patrick Mahomes, he don't just go out and play football. He be fancy with it. I mean, this dude right here, you don't know what you're gonna do with Tyreek. You don't know what you're gonna do with Travis. Hey, you mean to tell me they got clicking at the right time? They had an explosion this Sunday. This next Sunday they gonna start feeling some type of way. They gonna start feeling themselves and say, you know what? Let's go. Let's go.
Right.
Like I said, it don't matter what you did the first 4 or 5 games. The Chiefs know that. The Chiefs said, you know what? We know what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. We know what it takes. All that it matters that we get through the season and we get the chance. And guess what? Now it's getting towards this halfway through the season. Now they're about to make the run. They gonna handle their business Sunday. It's not gonna be that close of a game, honestly. I just don't think that Cowboys offense can keep up with this Kansas City Chiefs offense. And we'll see this Sunday. They're about to explode. They're about to show the world who they are. They're about to shut the media down. They're gonna say it's time to put some respect back on our name. It's the reason why we went to 2 Super Bowls. Cowboys. Yeah,
That's all right. I'm gonna have you on speed dial come Sunday, just so me and you can have a conversation as Dallas is putting the whoop ass on Kansas City.
And you know what, Jay McLovin? I want to say something. We do have a show Monday evening. Please don't run. Please be on the show. I don't want no excuses.
Will Diggs get an interception this game?
Show.
No.
Hey, I won't run. I'll be right here waiting for you, Freddie. I ain't gonna run.
I will be curious to see if they match up Parsons at all with Kelsey. I don't think that's a great matchup for him, but I think it could be a learning experience. So I think they're going to have to do something with Kelsey because they got a double Hill. So I will be curious to see how they choose to guard Kelsey and if they let Kelsey go one-on-one at any point with him.
He's on very good point. I agree with you too.
He's not going to get the one-on-one. They're going to use him a lot with rushing because they don't have, like I said, you only got one rusher, so they're gonna have to put some pressure on Pat Mahomes. Because if that's the case, they're double team Gregory. Dang, what's his name? It's Lawrence. They're double team Lawrence. They're chipping with the back, chipping with the tight end, and then now Pat can run around. You don't want Pat to run around. If anything, you want him to stay in the pocket. So,
absolutely.
What I'm telling you, they'll probably get him, Lawrence on one end, and Parsons, and we just gonna come upfield enough and keep him in the pocket. Because if you keep him in the pocket, now he has to actually just run. It's not a freestyle. He rolls out the pocket. Now it's like, okay, let's just get open.
Yeah, he's very dangerous when he starts running around like that. He can make a lot of things happen. He's got a great accuracy when he's on the run.
But it's all gonna come up front is the center and the two guards. Can they run the ball? If they run the ball, because they're weak, they're small. Dallas is small. That's the one knock. That's why I said earlier. It's not the knock about Dallas is they're small. They got small D tackles. That's why I said that the Rams and the Bucks are gonna kill them because you got somebody like Brady. Brady was back there doing a cha-cha slide the entire game. He slide to the left, slide to the right. One hop this time, touchdown. So I mean, but if you watch it, and that's the issue with Dallas. They got athletic, they got speed all over the field. But it's if Kansas City Chiefs center and two guards can work their way upfield, it's going to be.
That is a knock on Brady, though. The way you beat Brady is putting pressure on him. You put Brady does not do well under pressure, man. He's not mobile anymore.
Yeah, but it's the D tackle. That's why the Bucks struggle against the Rams. Because you got Darnold in the middle, so he has to move wide and he can't run.
Right.
I mean, but that's the biggest matchup. If it happens, like I said, man, I like Dak, man. I've been a Dak fan, and Freddie knows more than anything. Dallas fans they don't like Dak. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Like legit, true Dallas fans down here, they don't like Dak. They hate Dak with a passion. I wish I sign y'all to let you see all these Snapchats and Facebook of, oh my God, Dak is so terrible. He threw 400 some yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick at the end. Oh, he's garbage.
Is that because of
why? I'm sure you're gonna find all kinds of opinions from different Cowboys fans all over the world. I mean, it's gonna be different.
I like Dak. So here's my thing, because I live in the DMV, so I support all Washington teams. But I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of Cowboys players I like. I like Parsons. I like Lamb. I like Dak. I like
it too. I think the Dallas Cowboys has a good team. Don't get me wrong. They don't have, for my opinion, it's 2 things. Either you didn't have a coach to lead them to the championship, to teach them how to win a game, or they just don't have players. They just can't get over the hump. Like Romo. Romo was a good quarterback, but I never bet my life. I never bet my paycheck on him winning the Super Bowl or winning the playoff game at all. He's going to trick it off. Like,
yeah.
And then even if you look in our chat, you hear Cowboys fans talk. The game can be close, and they're nervous. When you say Pat Mahomes win a game close and he has the ball, you're not nervous. Or when Tom Brady has the ball, you're not nervous. You're not tripping. You're like, okay, here you go. He finna do it again. But you watch Cowboy fans, they try to look for every call because they don't truly believe. They don't trust that they can win a game when it's close.
Right.
Like you hear Brady all the time. Oh, here comes November. November, December is where you play your big. That's where your ball should be rolling because we're going to the far end, and that's the knock. That's the knock about the Cowboys. That's why I said when stuff gets tight, now Dak is he gonna be cool, calm, and collect and make the right?
I'll tell you what, and to answer your question, this matter of fact, this game is gonna be pivotal to see whether or not it can. I mean, they're going against Kansas City Chiefs. So if they beat Kansas City, then I guess that's going to put some of those questions to bed, right?
Nope.
Yeah, no, I think the issue.
How do you figure that? So if you beat Kansas City, that doesn't put that to bed.
They don't put me to bed because you know what? I know what the Cowboys are going to do. This isn't the first time they had a great start to the season. Let's start. Like, I don't care what they do in the regular season. Because guess what? It doesn't matter what they do in the regular season. I will not judge this team until they in the season. How far do you go in the postseason? That's where we're going to judge.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that because historically we haven't made it past the first round. I think maybe we got to the second round once, but we haven't done a lot in the postseason. So I get where you're coming from with that. And honestly, I am kind of thinking the same way. I mean, for once, I just want to see Dallas do what they're supposed to in the playoffs, man. Be like the old school Dallas.
So, Jake, can I ask you something? And this is a legit question. What do you consider a successful season for the Cowboys? First round, second round, third round, Super Bowl.
Man, for me, if we could just get to the Super Bowl, I would consider that to be a success. Because I mean,
that season. But what's the season like? You say, all right, we had a good season
because we haven't made it. Well, we typically lose in either the divisional round, or I think or in the championship round. But we don't make it. I mean, I don't think we made it to the championship round.
Yeah, made it to the championship in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was the Green Bay series.
We typically lose in either the wild card round or the divisional round.
So if they lose in the second round, it's a good season.
I mean, honestly, what's a good season? I mean, I need a Super Bowl, man. I haven't had a Super Bowl in
No. They're not in that conversation.
Yeah.
And
it is a good season. I mean, if we're above 500, I mean that's winning, right?
But Jay, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, for me, a good season is getting past the divisional round of the playoffs, because we haven't gotten past the divisional round of the playoffs in over 20 years.
Because if you look at it, and I'm looking at the season, I'm looking at this schedule. You got the Chiefs. You beat the Raiders because they're just dysfunctional right now.
Yeah.
The Saints, you don't know who's at quarterback. You could beat Washington. You play the Giants again. You'll beat them. You'll beat Washington. You don't know what Arizona team is just going to show up and who's healthy. And then you got the Eagles. So at the end of the day, you probably lose maybe 2 more games. So you're going to make the playoffs. That's not the conversation no more.
No, the conversation, and that really comes from the momentum. If you carry some momentum into the playoffs, hopefully that will translate.
But even though you haven't played, you played jank teams. I mean, they're not. None of the teams.
I think that's the thing that we've seen with Dallas is down the stretch when they've needed to win games to get into playoffs, they've lost. So I think for me, what we'd be telling is if they're fighting for position, they're fighting for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Do they win those games? Because the games that matter down the stretch are the games Dallas typically loses. So, yeah, I think we all agree they're going to go to the playoffs. They're going to win the division because the division sucks. Right. But when it comes to a game between being the 3 or 4 seed or the chance to potentially get the 1 seed where that one team gets that bye, I'd be curious to see how many games the Cowboys win when it comes down the stretch, because they have an easy schedule down the stretch with playing a bunch of division games that are easy teams. But if they they drop a game to Washington, they drop a game to the Giants or something, which they've done, that'll tell me exactly what I believe about Dallas.
So let me ask you this, sir.
Yeah.
What round do you consider a winning season or a successful season? Because Jay's he's a homer, and that's one thing about the Cowboy fans that me and Freddie don't like. Ain't made the playoffs in years, and you go straight to Super Bowl. Like you jump straight to the Super Bowl. And look, even Chris.
Well, everybody wants to be there, right? I mean, come on. I mean,
everybody wants to be there, but it's the reality. I don't see them. That's like Cleveland Browns. They make the playoffs. Do you see them going to the Super Bowl?
No, Cleveland Browns are not going to the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a guaranteed fact.
And we said it earlier, Arizona. Do we really put Arizona in that conversation? No. We said they're gonna make the playoffs, but we don't have them we're not having conversations about Super Bowl. I mean, and that's the question. When you look at these teams. When I look at Dallas, I don't see a Super Bowl team.
If they get to the second round of the playoffs, that's a successful season.
I'm with you.
If they win more than one playoff game, that's a successful season.
I agree. That's what I was saying. The last 20 years, they haven't been able to do that. So yeah.
But what you saying, like, okay, so the Bucs and the Rams, of course, they're gonna struggle with those 2 teams. So if they meet them in the championship game, like, is that not successful or?
No, it is. But okay. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is.
So, but like realistically, like who besides those 2 in the playoffs, who would stop them?
I think Green Bay would give them a lot of trouble, especially if they have to go to Green Bay.
And that's what I want.
Okay,
no, I want it in Dallas. No, I don't want it in Green Bay, right? I want it in Dallas.
Hey, one thing.
You know what? Aaron Rodgers is like
indictment on Aaron Rodgers too. Now,
Aaron Rodgers is amazing, in Dallas.
Aaron Rodgers a lot. I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan for the very reason we're criticizing the Cowboys. He fool around and lose at home again to a Dallas Cowboy team. We need to start relooking at Aaron Rodgers too.
No, he loves playing against the Cowboys.
He plays great in Dallas. Didn't they win the Super Bowl?
To be honest with you, I don't think the Packers is a good fit against them because, and I know Freddie, and we get in this debate all the time because I see how he looking. Look how he looking up at the top. He ready. Here's the thing about Aaron Rodgers, and I think their head coach is doing a great job. I think he's doing an excellent job, especially with the play calling. If you watch you got once you stop the run game, they don't really go vertical. They run a lot of screens. They like because if you watch, they either get the tight end, he's that quick out to the tight end and they're blocking, or they do give it to the receiver, and then what's the name? He's dragging across the middle. Like it's a simple offense what they're doing. But
coach, you can't coach, don't do this now. Don't do this. You know what? Last year, the year before, I agree with you. But this team has showed us that they're capable of winning football games, even when Aaron Rodgers not playing at the MVP level.
And here's another thing. Let me finish. When Arizona drove 99 yards, first I'm not even gonna talk about the Green Bay's defense. I'm gonna jump back to Aaron Rodgers. I saw him last year NFC Championship game when he had a chance to win it. I don't care what you say to coach that, whatever you thought. He didn't win it. Look, I don't know. I saw it when when they went 5, where they had like 6 plays inside the 10 because it was a pass interference. It was this. Guess what? He didn't make the play to win it. Then that offense drove 80 some yards. Only difference was the receiver didn't turn around.
You can't blame it on Green Bay. They
no, I'm not blaming them, but I'm saying those are things. If you flip it, you take Arizona out and you put Dallas in. There's 2 receivers that's gonna catch that ball.
Are we sure? Are we sure, Coach?
CD dropped some balls now.
Come on. Are we sure? Are we really gonna say that the Cowboys are being available? Coach, now listen. One thing that we not going the last 2 times the Cowboys met the Packers in the playoffs, we all know what happened. Rodgers loves playing against the Cowboys, especially against this defense. Hey, their best old lineman is soon to be returning. People forget that. When that old line I'm not gonna screw his name up. That's why I didn't say his name.
Bakhtiari.
Yeah, there you go. When he gets back, that offense. Let's go
Freddie. No one's knocking or talking about the offensive line. No one's talking about the offense. No one's talking about the defense. I'm talking about a run.
And we know when Aaron Rodgers at his best, he's the best man on the field.
Stop. You got to stop that.
So who would you take, Coach? A-Rod, or are you taking Dak?
I'm taking Dak's offense against.
You go answer the question. Rodgers or Prescott? Which one?
But you can't say that. I'm talking about you got. They're not playing against each other.
So would you take Aaron?
Because you doing this, but I'm just telling you.
Okay, I got a better question.
You know how it goes. It's a quarterback matchup. It don't matter. The players are auxiliary players. The running backs are comparable. Rodgers got the best.
And you're right. And what I just say, I will take Dak's offense against Green Bay's defense.
So would you? I don't know about that. Would you rather Green Bay's offense against Dallas defense, or Dallas offense versus a Green Bay Packers defense that came alive late?
Green Bay doesn't. Dallas matched well against Green Bay.
We've seen them against the Cardinals.
Should beat Green Bay in the playoffs.
They matched well.
So they should beat them. That's what
I hope they meet up. I hope.
Yeah. And look,
we want to get to revisit this conversation.
Listen, man. Hey, if you watch our show, we argue about this. I go far off in a whole different world. I think Josh Allen is a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. Hey, again, my biggest thing, I'm gonna say
I'm wrong with that. Yeah,
I'm saying over and over again, like I sit here and I tell you, it's about the matchups. You can say Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers is. What Aaron Rodgers them run, Dallas can play that. Because look, the Saints, if they were healthy, Dallas would destroy them because of what they do.
Because they have Trevor Siemian, a quarterback.
That's what. But even if they had, I'm saying if they was just everybody was healthy, it's all about matchups in the playoffs. It's about who's physical, who's not. And what Green Bay does matches well with what the Cowboys do on defense. It matches well with them because you don't have to have 2 safeties over the top because you got corners that can run.
They can't guard Adams.
But that's what I'm saying. But think about it. When you watch them, they get beat off the double move, not the single move. It's the double move.
I don't care who they are. They ain't locking up Adams one-on-one.
You don't have to. It's not Adams. You got to worry about.
Hey, Seattle did a good job against your Packers.
You know what?
There was no scoring the first 3 quarters of that game. They didn't come around until the fourth quarter.
Hey, you know what? It's fine. I'll be on a little thing. I'll be trolling on Monday just for you guys. Let's go on from there. You know what? I'm gonna have a picture just like this.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, I'm gonna give you a typical look of like,
Hey, it's cool because all you gonna see is I'm gonna be saying, "Well, what's up, guys? How are you guys doing today?"
I'm gonna be trolling you and Freddie come Sunday, so don't you worry about it.
Yeah, we seen what happened to Zach Stacy, man. You know, that's a sad situation. You know, it's just a sad situation overall.
Yeah, it's extremely sad that a man could do that to a woman. It's ridiculously stupid. Hopefully he turns himself into the cops and faces trial and can answer for the cowardly acts that a man like that displayed. It's terrible. Hey, let's move on real quick. I want to kind of go with this NBA question that we've been talking about that's been kind of juicy. Who would you cut? D Rose, CP3, Russell Westbrook, or Steve Nash?
It doesn't change my answer, bro. We talking about prime or what?
Prime of all time. Just yeah.
Yeah, all time.
Damn, they all in the same boat.
There's an outlier here.
Who want to go first?
Freddie, you go first.
Hey, all right, let's go, Freddie.
Because you're gonna be long-winded.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah, he will be. Especially when it comes to he's gonna go with the Westbrook because it's the Lakers. Go ahead, Freddie.
You know what?
You
really can't cut Russ though, because I mean he's done something that we haven't seen since Big O. I mean, tell me something that those other three have done something that's special.
Derrick Rose, youngest MVP.
Other than him, I believe Russ.
You just got to cut one. You
don't think CP3's done special things?
You only got to cut one.
I know. I'm about to get to my answer, but what I'm saying is, out of all the four, Russ, they have nothing. Out of the three, they have not done what Russ has done. He has done what Big O have done, and he's done it multiple times. Averages a triple-double. You have to. More than I think it has to be CP3. You have to.
I know you was gonna say it.
It has to be CP3. I'm gonna say Steve Nash, but you have to go CP3, and the reason why I say it is because CP3 have had the best chances to win championships out of all of them. He's had the best chances. He had it when he was with the Clippers, and what did they do? They choked against who? Houston. Had one of the biggest chokes in the NBA history. And then he this last year, when you knocked out the Lakers, that's phenomenal. Then we're going against the Bucks team, the lead in the finals. Then what happened? You gave up the bag. Chris Paul didn't look good towards the end of that series.
He had torn ligaments.
But still, and when it comes to the playoffs, when you come to the postseason, when it's time, it's always something with them. Always. And there's always fans like you that have some kind of excuse that you can give up.
Well, exactly how far into the playoffs has Westbrook gone?
He's never been in. He has not been in a position until now. As many positions have like CP3. This is the second time, but really the third time. The third time CP3 has been in a position to win championships, and they did not overcome it. We've only seen one time with Russ in a position to win the championship.
There was only one time Russ was good enough to do it, and that was with Kevin Durant.
But guess what? Every time CP3 gets there, always something. Either he drops the bag or something. There's something that goes on with him. That's the knocking. That's why I gotta cut him out of D Rose, Steve Nash, and Westbrook.
So you cut him over D Rose, who's been hurt way more?
D Rose in his prime, we would be saying the same thing that we're saying about Steph Curry. The same thing we said about Russell Westbrook. They were saying it. Don't forget about it.
Freddie, who you cut?
I cut in CP3.
Okay, that's it. Give somebody.
Hey, I'm gonna bring up let's bring in Ray, and then we'll kind of go from there. Ray, who you cutting, Ray?
For me, it's easy. I'm cutting Russ Westbrook. He's a phenomenal statistical talent. Phenomenal, unlike anything we've ever seen. But as a leader of men, as a guy that makes smart decisions in critical moments, I've never seen him do it. I've seen turnovers. I've seen terrible shot selection. I think almost him and CP3 have both lost a number of 3-1 leads. I put a lot of CP3's failures on Doc Rivers, who I'm not the biggest fan of.
Thank you.
He has a number of failures managing all that talent. Russell Westbrook we saw what happened when CP3 went to Oklahoma City after Russ Westbrook left. They went to the playoffs. They significantly overachieved from what people thought was going to happen when CP3 went there. Derrick Rose, I don't even think to me, he doesn't deserve to be in this conversation. He just hasn't had the career to be at an elite level long enough. But if we're taking prime at talent,
but you'll take him over us.
I would take him over. I think he's a much better team basketball player than Russell Westbrook is. I think Russell Westbrook is the greatest athlete of this group, but as a basketball player, as a point guard, he's by far the worst.
Ray, I'm gonna correct you on one thing. The same thing that you said about CP3 taking that OKC team to playoffs. Russ did the same thing by himself, but a higher seeding as well. I just wanted to throw that in there.
No, they were not a higher seed.
No. Go look it up. Right after KD left, Russ did it by himself, won the MVP, averaged a triple-double.
In the 6th seed.
I know it was a higher seed, Chris. Go look it up. Do your research, sir. Go look it up. Go look it up.
When Russ left that team, they were supposed to be a lottery team at best. They went to the playoffs and significantly overachieved with a worse roster than what Russ had. Russ still had everybody around outside of when
That's
Kevin
very
Durant
true,
left.
Freddie. But CP3 with the Oklahoma City Thunder that year when there's supposed to be a rebuild and he's got them high in the playoffs, Russ would have never been able to do that.
Right. Who was on that OKC team with Russ? Who was on that team?
They still had Steven Adams. I think Serge Ibaka was still there initially.
Steve Adams was with CP3 as well.
No, he was not.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Go look it up. Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
Let me check that.
Right, go look up your facts, bro.
Bro, I'm a Chris Paul fan. I was there in OKC with him. Steven Adams was not there with us.
Hey.
Let's bring in Chris. While he's looking that up, let's bring Chris in the conversation to see who he would cut.
Westbrook. No question. He's great statistically. The triple doubles is cool. Like Westbrook gets 28 points on 24 shots. That's not good.
Steven Adams was.
Westbrook gets 10. He gets 12 assists, non-turnovers. I mean, yeah, he has the good number. Like, if you just look at the box score, it's great. But if you watch him, his IQ isn't there. I mean, yeah, he's going to go hard every single play, but you don't have to go hard every single play. I mean, sometimes be smart, make the right decision.
What'd you find, Ray?
To the right person.
No, he was there in 2019.
I know he was.
He missed a lot of games, but he was there.
I know he was.
He was on the roster, but was he there?
The problem with Russell is he thinks he can make a 3-point shot and he'll shoot it until he dies. And the man is not a 3-point shooter.
He's not a shooter at all. He's not a 2-point
at
shooter.
all. No,
he can just.
And what has Chris Paul done? What has Steve Nash done? They haven't won big games.
Steve Nash is 2-time MVP.
Come on, don't do that.
Russell's MVP.
He won both them MVPs. Let's be clear, but he did win them. And outside of a hip check, he should have been in the finals.
That's true. Let's bring in Coach real quick on this. Coach, who you cutting?
So,
come on, Coach, be on my side.
Fred. Oh no, Fred, I'm not cutting CP3, dog. CP3 is probably top 5 point guard of all time.
Easily.
Yeah. Top 5. So I'm not going to cut him. One thing, only knock about CP3, I'll see you over there thinking about it. One thing about CP3, the only knock is it's just the big series. He comes up, he's something. He comes up lame.
It's always something.
But you know what?
He comes up short. He comes up hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just come up lame. That's what I mean, not short. But you know what's the funny thing about this is, Chris? If David Stern
don't do
that trade for Chris Paul to go to the Lakers, he wouldn't even be in his mouth right now because he knows for a fact they would have been dominant and they would have won some championships. So I'm gonna go opposite everybody. Out of those four, I'm gonna say Steve Nash. Hey, I'm gonna go.
Man, that's a hard one to say though. Steve's done a lot for the game.
I mean, he's done a lot. He came from Canada and blah blah blah. He was honest, admitted that he took money from the Lakers because he just wanted to check. So again, because I look at it as this, one thing about Russ is gonna give you all no matter what. In NBA Finals or whatever, he's gonna give you his all. Steve Nash, he's healthy, and I haven't seen him in the big games. I ain't talking about regular season, because when we talk about this, you're talking about you're that elite level in the playoffs. I haven't seen it when it was needed. For me, Derrick Rose, man, when healthy, I don't care what you say. Hey, he carried them Bulls. He was the second. He was second coming of Jordan out there. They loved him. So my biggest thing, everybody was a threat. But I think what's the name was the weakest threat, Nash, compared to all of them. Because when you look at, like I said, when you look at Rose, man, Rose gave LeBron James hell. It was classic games. When you look at CP, when healthy, he gave everybody hell. I mean, even last year, if he was healthy, he came up lame in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I was in the NBA Finals, hamstring. I like Westbrook what he does. He's a guy. So I know Chris, you itching because I see you rocking, baby.
Oh no, it's all good, man.
Go ahead. I'm out. I'm listening. I'm gonna sit back. Look.
I think, man, what bothers me on Westbrook with this question is he's not really a point guard. He's a two guard he's a short two guard. That's really what the problem is. If Westbrook is 6'7", he's a two guard.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but he's been on teams where he's never had to really legitimately be the point guard. He still, regardless of the situation, he deferred to KD. KD brought the ball down. Westbrook pushed it.
But when Westbrook brings it down, he makes the wrong decision. That's the problem with him.
I agree. But also Westbrook played on some teams and at least brought him to the playoffs. What can you say?
So did Nash.
So I just went back and looked, and there was 1 year where Russ had maybe a lesser roster. Victor Oladipo was still on that roster. Steven Adams was still on that roster. There was still a number of talent, and then he had that after that he got Melo and he had PG running with him. So he's had superstar or all-star talent with him almost the entire time.
Since when we call Victor Oladipo an all-star or superstar?
Victor Oladipo's made an all-star team.
When Victor first went there, Victor was still that dude.
Yeah, he was all-star.
Now,
he wasn't no superstar. I mean, don't
change it. He was an all-star.
He's an all-star though.
Nobody said superstar. You don't know.
That's what it sounded like he said. I'm just correcting.
He's had some all-star, and I think Paul George at the time was still a superstar. He was an MVP candidate at one point when he was.
But Paul George he's in that category of a chokester too, though.
Yeah, you seen what Dame did to him.
Had talent. He also played with Bradley Beal, and that team was grossly underperforming.
But that was Westbrook's team too, though. Like that Dame did that.
No, Bill was hurt. Bill was hurt, but they did make the playoffs.
Exactly.
Because did you? Look,
I said they underperformed. That team was supposed to be a lot better in that East than they were. They were almost 15 games with 500 earlier in the year.
You had them picked to go to the playoffs?
Absolutely. Yes. When Russ came in
the East,
yeah, in the East for sure.
Okay.
Weren't they in a play-in?
Yeah,
or did they make the playoffs?
They made play in.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they shouldn't have been in the play-in. They should have been in the playoffs.
But what's the name? Yeah. Bill did get hurt.
I mean that's fine, but the point is Russell is playing with significant talent, and typically they underachieve.
Check this out. We can all go back and forth. Y'all picked your three. Freddie, he kicked out CP3,
which is wrong,
which is stupid. But anyway,
right?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
I
think he's dirty, but he
just telling you, Chris. I'm not tripping. If I got Derrick Rose healthy on one wing, I got Westbrook on the other, and CP bring that ball down, I can live with that.
No, I don't want Westbrook. I won't take Westbrook. Like I can't cut Nash either though, just because Nash is like just too pure as a point guard. We know he's gonna make the right decision, and like I think we forget how much he developed that shot towards the end of his career.
I mean, he was a shooter. For
No. We didn't say in a career. We said prime.
I know, but I'm just talking about like. I mean,
Steve Nash at his height was a problem. He played in a system
exactly
that helped them, but he played in a system where the ball moved a lot. But
Steve Nash and Phoenix is really what we see in the NBA today.
I agree. He was a version of Steph before Steph became Steph, and Steph took it to a whole nother level. But the pick and roll, the shooting, and everything he offered, his passing with Amari, he helped prolong Amari's career. He got Amari paid.
Yeah, he did. I agree with that.
Yeah. Again, guys, we can go back and forth, but there's no look. Again, Chris, you pick your guys.
The main thing is we all know Freddie's wrong on this, right?
Yeah,
we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Freddie's wrong. That's all I need to know.
Freddie was shaking his head like, damn, man.
Freddie, I can't
picking on me.
You can't take. Hey,
I was gonna say Steve Nash, but the reason why I didn't is because there's been too many times where Chris Paul was in the big moment and where he just came up short.
No. He got hurt.
You're not going to
But still, he came up short though.
There's a difference. When you get an injury, it's different.
Hey, so that's the same thing. If that's the case, you might as well say that for Steve Nash.
Nobody won a championship here.
Yeah, but Steve was never. He didn't go to the playoffs, like to the championship. Like he didn't get to where he was on teams where we knew that he had the chance. Like Chris Paul was with that Clippers team who had so much talent, and with people saying, "Oh yeah, this is their time." He went to Houston with James Harden. They had a lead against the Golden State Warriors. Hey, Alex, leave my Johns alone, man. My Johns are doing fine.
Put that off. We don't want to see that.
We doing just fine, my dude.
Hey, let's see if we can squeeze one more topic out of this. Hey, is LeBron's championship days behind him? Freddie, I know you. That's your man on your team right now. There's a 50-50 chance he's gonna try to suit up for those losing middle of the rung Lakers. Yeah, 8-8. They're middle of the run, guy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You just gotta live with it. But he's 50% coming back. Is his championship days behind him? I tell you, man, he's starting to look mortal to me. I don't think it's behind him, but he's definitely looking mortal. What do you got, Freddie?
Did you guys see the crazy take that Stephen A. Smith said, coming with this eulogy, talking about LeBron should go ahead and just retire. His championship days are over. That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. I mean, this happens so often. People always want to count him out. They want to count the Lakers out. But you know what? I'm just so sick and tired of it, because there's a reason why we put LeBron James in the MVP conversation. Because we know one thing: when we take him off those teams normally fall. When he watch tomorrow night, he come back, we're going to run. Everybody's going to be back on the bandwagon. LeBron James, to say that he's done winning championships is just really, really, really crazy to me. Because to be honest with you, this team, people want to criticize this Lakers team right now. Coach, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Since when have we crowned NBA champions within 16 games of a season? That's what people want to do.
I think the knock on Braun is we live in a "what have you done for me lately" society. And last year they got kicked out in the first round. They didn't do nothing because Braun got hurt, AD got hurt.
Okay,
what I'm saying is health was an issue.
Can I ask you a question?
Was an issue.
Can I ask you a question?
They got kicked out in the first round. So then nobody's talking about them anymore. They're just by the wayside.
Can I ask you a question?
Didn't he come in this year? And Braun's already missing games. He's 50-50 chance he makes it, maybe he doesn't. But he's still hurt. He's still got injury issues. And the Lakers aren't looking good right now. They're 8-8. They're not looking.
Can I ask you a question, Jay?
But all these guys can. So it does kind of. I can see why it is. What have you done for me lately, society?
Can I ask you a question?
That's why people are questioning. I'm not saying that the guy's championship days are behind him, but it is. It's a question because he hasn't done anything and he's been hurt.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you asked that, what has you done for me lately? Before he got hurt last year, wasn't he in the MVP conversation?
Oh, yeah, absolutely was.
Okay, so now we're talking about this year. It's only been 16 games in the season. Yes, he sat out for an ankle injury that this year that a man dived on his ankle yet again, and now he's dealing with the little stomach injury. Okay, so now, like I said, the NBA season doesn't matter in November. It doesn't. It don't matter in December. It doesn't. It don't matter in January nor February. When does it matter? In June. What do you do when it's time for the playoffs? And we know one thing about covering LeBron James' career. He is the guy that get his team ready for the playoffs. It matters when that's towards the end of the season, what team is getting hot at the right time, clicking on all cylinders. It comes a time and point. And one thing I will say, we see Anthony Davis play his best basketball when LeBron James on the court. We see.
But can they do it for a full season, Freddie?
It don't matter about the full season. That's what you don't.
Can they stay healthy and build chemistry and get back to that level?
Jay McLevin, like I told you, it doesn't matter about the season. This team was not built for the regular season. This team was built for the playoffs.
But how do you get chemistry for the playoffs if you don't get it in the regular season?
He's going to. LeBron's going to figure that out. They're going to figure that out. And you know what? I'm not going to say too much on this topic because I want to get on other topics. But I'm just going to say this: I have my list. I'm writing people's names down, and when we complete the job, I'm calling out everybody. And when me and LeBron and the Lakers are going to have a great time doing it because everybody wants to count us out 16 games in the season when they've done like so. Are we going to call the Washington Wizards the champions of the East? Are we? After 16 games? Probably pump the brakes.
Coach, what's your thought process on LeBron?
No.
Done or not?
I'm gonna let Chris.
You'll let Chris take it? All right.
Hey, I'm looking at Chris.
Hey, we'll bring if you want to wait, I'll give you all that time to think. Chris,
I got to
here and tell us what you think about Braun if it's his last day. Is his playoff championship days behind him?
No.
I'll go to I'm Chris. I'm about to drop right now.
No, of course not. I mean, he's still arguably. I mean, if you ain't gonna say he's the best player, he's definitely top 3. I mean, we know what LeBron can do. Still the best mind in basketball. Yeah, he's hurt right now. Maybe he could be just taking time off, kind of seeing what they can do without him. Try Westbrook, and that makes everything so much better for him. But that's really all I need to do, man. Like, put the ball back in LeBron's hands. Like Freddie said, AD is a top 5 player next to LeBron. He can't lead the team by himself, but I mean, we know.
I was big on that, Coach. I'm sorry. I fell for the hype. I definitely understand what you. I'm gonna put you on understand what you said the other day because I'm watching Anthony Davis last night and I'm like, okay, D, you going against Giannis? Show him what you got. And I'm like, 18 points? You not guarded in the post? Like, I understand where you say.
And I have a quick question.
What did Coach say though?
That AD is a star. But he's not a superstar. Like when LeBron on the court, AD top 5.
It's not that he's not a superstar. I think it's just
no. He's not.
It's pressure. It's pressure.
No, that's
what I'm saying though. Like it's the like. Okay, I guess so because in New Orleans he's a superstar because nobody expects him to be good.
No, he was a star. He was a star then. He was a star now. Don't look. We use these again. What was your question, sir?
Somebody said LeBron
is Braun's championship days behind him.
No, I was asking what he said.
What he said. Okay.
Somebody said Braun's top 3, and I have Giannis, KD, and Steph. So what are we doing with those 3 guys?
No, I don't put Giannis.
Wow, that's a hot take. Because somebody ain't that one yet. I'm not.
If you, and I'm being serious. This is God's honest truth. When healthy, when healthy, I'm not in no typical order because I roll out 3: Steph, KD, and LeBron. Because one thing about you can say what you want about Giannis. When the game was on the line, Giannis wasn't dribbling the ball, making the plays down the court. It was Middleton. He was.
Did you watch the last finals?
He didn't. Come on, man.
Did you see his stat line in the closeout game?
He knew nobody could stop him.
So did he win it or not?
No, Middleton.
No,
Middleton. Middleton. Who got him there?
Drew Holiday.
Did y'all see some of the games Chris Middleton put up in the playoffs last year? He had some awful games. Him and Drew Holiday had some really awful games. Giannis is the reason they got there.
This is one of them arguments we can go back and forth. You want Giannis? You take
LeBron today? Absolutely.
You want Giannis? Look,
and can we talk about there's two sides to the ball? So you're just gonna throw away Giannis's defense too?
You want Giannis? You can take Giannis.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll take him.
You take him because I guarantee. And you're gonna be just like Freddie in June. Guys, I want to say this because this coach said this earlier. He said if Miami faces them, Giannis is gonna be where are you, Giannis? Where are you? Because he gets killed against them.
So,
Everything's all about matchups.
So did Phoenix play the Lakers in the playoffs last year?
Phoenix played a hurt Laker team.
No, answer his question. Answer the man's question.
No, I'm not going to argue.
They did get hurt. They got hurt, but it was towards the middle of. It wasn't at the very beginning of that series.
That series was over when the injuries started piling up.
No, you're right.
Which is why I keep telling you. How do you know the Lakers can stay healthy long enough to even develop chemistry to even get the damn playoffs?
We're assuming health. When you're talking about this,
you're not assuming it's the guy
the health card with everybody. We can bring the health card to everybody.
Hey, let me say, I'm gonna say this. I say yes because regardless of the situation, it is LeBron. We can all sit here again. Everybody over here, they can sit here and say, "Oh well, LeBron. If LeBron's healthy, he's proving out of the last 15 years, he's made it to the NBA Finals. When how many years? 9 or 10 years?
I get it.
He's proving when healthy."
When that's the key word.
Yes, when healthy. When healthy.
He got kicked out last year because he wasn't healthy.
You're right, and you're right, and I agree with you. And the thing is, like Brady, and he gets on this about Westbrook. And why they should have got Buddy Hield. No, they got Westbrook for these situations right now because LeBron's out,
and they're 8-8.
And 8
versus some bad teams.
See, that's what I'm trying to say.
But what are we talking about?
When you say his best years behind him,
yes,
I don't look at IQ. I don't like because LeBron has the IQ. He's got all the physical tools.
They're 8-8.
Yeah,
but we're still talking about them because we all know
we're disappointed.
No, because we all know
about LeBron.
And even LeBron. That's the thing. We're having a conversation about LeBron. We're not having a conversation about KD. We're not having a conversation about Greek
because we know that they have the championship.
But we know when LeBron's healthy. You know he still got it. You know
that's the whole point. That's why I can't say if his championship days are behind him because of his health. I think if anything stops LeBron's game, it's going to be his health.
Okay, well that's the beauty. That's the beauty of basketball. Because if I had to bet a check, I'm putting it in on LeBron. I'll put it in before I put KD. I'll put it in.
But he did. Hey, look, let me tell you something though. And even Freddie knows this. Bron quit on that team too. You saw it in his eyes. You saw it when he was on the bench. You saw it when he was getting his ass kicked. And all he wanted to do was go to the locker room. Freddie, even you said it that he had lost heart.
But Jay McGlynn, we talking about this year, like Coach said.
But I'm just saying those are still characteristic flaws within LeBron.
But Jay, you know what? You say yes, we can bring up injuries, but guess what? This man has been in the league 19 years. And he's had what 2 or 3 major injuries in 19 years. So
a lot more at the end of his career than at the beginning.
But guess what? I know one thing. I know a guy who take care of his body. He's not going to go out there and risk no big injury. I know he's going to do it. If I don't have to worry about making sure his team is ready for the postseason. I don't have to worry about that.
Can I ask everybody a question? And then I'm gonna be done with this because I'm not going to keep going back and forth. I'm not going back and forth. We're in November talking about basketball. I don't talk about basketball till after the All-Star game. That's February 18th. That's when I start basketball.
I feel you. I'm the same way.
But here's my question, and this is everybody. Jay, I want you to go first. Do you not see the Lakers making the playoffs?
Yes, I do. I do see the Lakers making the playoffs. I absolutely. I actually did see the Lakers making the playoffs. I mean, they are 8-8, but I mean, honestly, they're like the number 7 seed team.
Oh, no. It doesn't matter. You just got to get to the.
But yeah, absolutely. I do believe the Lakers will be in the playoffs. I do.
The Bond Chronicles. Do you see the Lakers making the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Okay, Chris, do you see them making the playoffs?
When they trade Westbrook, yes.
Okay. I'm not even going to ask Freddie because I already know what he says. Then that's it. Conversation over. You see him making the playoffs. We all know.
We're not talking about playoffs.
But I know what I'm saying. But we all know. But this the simple fact of the matter. If they make it to the playoffs, you know for a fact. You're right. First time in 20 years, he lost in the first round.
He came out. Look at what happened. He came out west, and one of the 2 years he went out in the first round. Go figure.
And he won a championship.
In the bubble, but he did.
It don't matter. Championship.
I don't agree with the bubble talk. I mean, it's still a championship, like everybody else.
Man, he got a ring, man. Don't.
I think LeBron is the only one who gets hate for that. If Miami wins, then nobody
gonna mention anything. Nobody.
I don't think Miami should have been there either. I think the bubble, we saw some historic performances, but he did win it. I'm not taking that away from him. But I'm saying,
you mentioned it. You are. That's the hardest NBA championship that he won.
I said he won.
No, it wasn't. But
it was, Coach. It was.
3-1 was harder. 3-1 was harder.
No, you know why
this was hard. That was his hardest.
You know why I say it was, Coach?
No.
You're a man. Hey, we all men on here. Guess what? You sending up around a whole bunch of men for that long. You can't do what you have to change your mindset. You have to change your sleep pattern, your eating patterns. You have to change a whole bunch of things. And you know what? Just like these guys said, at an older age, LeBron had to go through all of that, change everything, how he's accustomed to doing it. Not seeing your kids, not seeing your wife. It's different, Coach. You didn't know pain.
Freddie, stop. The only thing that was hard that I will honestly say, he didn't get to spend time with his family. That was the only thing, the hard part. If anything in the NBA, it's like they like going back to college. They kicked it with each other. They played all over again. Hey, everybody, they was chilling. No, nothing to stress. No fans. It wasn't hard.
And you got 3 months off before the final stretch.
No, the hardest one. You can say what you wrote. The hardest one is when he was with the Cavs. That was the hardest one out of all of them.
I disagree. And LeBron even said that was one of his hardest championships. He even said that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna say it was an easy
road
it's
probably putting pressure on him because he was trying to do it for Kobe and all this and that. But it wasn't, to my opinion, it wasn't one of those. We knew when they played the Miami Heat, they were gonna win. There was no end this, but y'all can say
Bam got hurt.
Yeah,
even healthy Bam, they're still beating.
We knew the Lakers was going to win.
So how are we saying this is the hardest? And he beat up the 5th seed that was already beat up.
I get what Freddie's saying. He's like, you're in the bubble, you're isolated.
Everybody was in the bubble,
right?
No, it wasn't the hardest, Freddie.
You know what? You're right. Like you said, everybody's in the bubble, but guess what? Everybody was not strong enough to succeed and complete the job, Ray. Just like you said, you think you slick.
Hey, you're right.
It makes life a lot easier when you got another top 5 player playing a team that don't got a top 20 player, but who cares?
Can we talk about this other topic, the next topic, Jay McLeod? I really wanted to talk about that.
And we exhausted this with the death?
Yes.
All right. Hey. Okay. So we already talked about that. All right. So then, So did KD make a mistake on choosing the Nets over the Golden State Warriors? I liked him with the Golden State. I liked it better with the Golden State Warriors than I do with the Nets. I think personally he should have stayed with the Golden State Warriors. I really do, because he played well with those guys. They were clicking on all cylinders. I just don't like this whole Nets thing. And then a lot of it has to do with Kyrie Irving, like we talked about earlier. I just challenge. Are they really? Have that killer instinct? Are they really focused to get the championship? I felt like he was better off playing with Golden State. I thought he fit that mold perfectly. What do you think, Coach? We'll start at the top and work down.
Nah, he had to stay with New York. I mean, I think not New York. It was best for him to go to the Nets. One thing about it was he didn't have a connection with He was always ridiculed for being you going to them. You was up 3-1, you lose, and you go to the team that kicked you out. And then a lot of people didn't consider his championship really his championship because he was already on a good team. So he had to leave to make it for himself. I truly believe. Now, don't get me wrong. it was meant. It was just meant for him to go.
So is there an asterisk next to his name because he was on such a good?
No, I'm not going.
Is there an asterisk there next to that?
No, because when it's all said and done, and we talk about the greatest of all time, and I think that's the biggest issue. The way you got when people say you got all these people jumping from team to team to team, because it's all about championships. It's not how you play in the regular season. It's not how you really play in the playoffs. It's how many championships you got. Because everybody says George is the best. Why? Because he has 6 championships. That's it. That's the end of the conversation.
Well, he was the best because he built it at that. He went from nothing. He took a Bulls team.
No, I know. He did that.
Yeah.
But you talk about nowadays athletes, it's how many championships you got. It's not how many.
Right.
Like if right now, if everybody up here picks their top 5 players, they won the championship or they carried the team. So I think that for him, for his legacy of now, because he's and on top of that, he cares about what people think about him. Anybody that is a multi-millionaire and you got a fake Twitter account and you snap and you getting mad at people, no regular people, come on, man. So that was the best thing for him to go and try to do it on his own.
That's true. All right. Bond Chronicles, Ray, what you got on this topic, brother?
I think there's 2 frames of thought. I think there's which one is more important, basketball legacy as a winner or basketball legacy as going on his own. I think most people give credit to LeBron because he won back home. I think most people want to give Durant wants to get the credit where he won on his own. But the reality is you can't win anywhere on your own. Like, that's just not going to happen. You're going to need another all-star or 2 or 3 in some cases to win a championship. I think it would have been best for his career had he stayed in Golden State. I think they would have been able to stem this tide without Clay. I think we saw last year with Clay and Steph, or year before last, Steph and Clay getting hurt, that had he been able to come back, he would have been able to be the guy. I think Steph, Clay, and everybody took a back seat to him. I think they appreciated him. He won 2 finals MVPs. He hit 2 of the biggest shots in those series. Granted, those series weren't going to be competitive anyway. I think if that group stays together, they can win 6 or 7. We're seeing what Steph is doing right now. They brought back Iguodala, imagine having the bench and youth they have now, but having KD there too. I think it could have been historic what they could have done had he stayed. I defended Kyrie for my reasons earlier, but just in general, I think Steph and Golden State's environment is a better environment than Harden and Kyrie. I think Kerr is a much better coach than Nash. I don't think Steve Nash is a great head coach. I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that he's been a great head coach, that he can gain respect from that group. I think they do what they want. The offense is stagnant many of the times. I just think the environment, the situation, it's all bad, and he should have stayed in Golden State.
Okay, Freddie, what you got on this one, brother?
Ray, I'm 100% surprised in what you said, sir. I'm not gonna lie, because Kevin Durant got played. He fell for the story that Kyrie Irving told him, and then ever since he's been down there with Kyrie Irving hasn't been dependable. He haven't been, he got him down there, got James Harden down there, and has not been dependable at all. I don't believe in Steve Nash. I don't believe that he should have got the head coach job. Especially when you had a Ty Lue that was available at the time, you had a Mark Jackson that was available at the time. I definitely thought that was a big miss on Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant's part. Thought they should have got them two as either one of them as a head coach. When you go to State, even though they was dealing with injuries at the time, we can't forget about that, like you mentioned. But if they would have got healthy, we all know what Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are about, just them two. But when you added KD, KD was the guy like, hey, in the fourth quarter, give him the ball, he'll close it out for you. Even though Golden State they played, they still play that awesome basketball. They're big on ball movement. They don't let the egos get in the way. Draymond being that point forward, setting screens, with Curry run around the court. But KD made a big mistake. I mean, we seen it the other night.
I didn't believe
we seen it the other night. Steph Curry just balling, straight out balling. I mean, knocking down 8 threes, I believe he had. I mean, you have Jordan Poole doing his thing. And Andrew Wiggins, doing his things well, even though he wouldn't be there, KD was there. But you add Kevin Durant to that. Man, if you add Kevin Durant to that Golden State Warrior team, that's a cheat code. Nobody's beating them. My Lakers don't have a chance. Not with Russ. But that's definitely a cheat code. When I look at this Brooklyn team right now, I don't even have them in the mindset of a championship. Not right now, but I know it's way too early. Can't judge anything out 16 games. Because if Kyrie Irving do get the shot or whatever, can come back and he is available for his team, that does get them back in that conversation, because let's not get it twisted. They are, them three did operate good on offense. James Harden do need to step it up, but I do, what I'm saying is Kevin Durant didn't have to deal with a lot of that BS down there in Golden State that he's dealing with right now.
Absolutely. Okay, Chris, I don't know if he hit you yet. What do you think about this?
Coach,
he agreed with me 100%.
Coach is right. Kevin Durant had to leave Golden State. Maybe Freddie's right on the Brooklyn mess, but Kevin Durant had to leave Golden State just because he wants to be looked at as an all-time great player. I mean, we all know he's great, but you trying to get into that, Jordan, LeBron, Magic kind of conversation. You're not going to do that in Golden State just simply because that was never going to be Kevin Durant's team. Yeah, he's the best player on that team, but that was always going to be Steph Curry's team. He wanted to go somewhere to show, he can do it on his own. He's his own man. He deserves to be mentioned with LeBron. He was not going to get that anywhere. He's not going to get that staying in Golden State. Plus, after Draymond insulted him or anything, if he stays, he looks weak off that situation. Maybe the Brooklyn thing isn't working out, but no, he has to leave Golden State.
Question for Chris. In hindsight, do we still look at LeBron's Miami championships the way people did at the time when he went and linked up with that team?
No.
I think the same thing would have happened.
But LeBron was undoubtedly the best player, though. But there was no question on that.
KD was the one that was winning the Finals MVPs.
But the thing about it is,
but you could argue that Steph could have won could have won one of them.
I don't think that changes the narrative that Kevin Durant made that team better. And 10, 20 years from now, had he stayed, I don't think we're going to look at that as KD Durant. We're going to look at the fact that Russell Westbrook was a terrible teammate, and KD went to the best situation, and he made it work, and he took that team over.
Did he go to the best situation, or he go to the best team?
Both.
I mean, because hell, I could have played on that team and won a championship.
That's not true.
I mean, I could have filled in.
The thing is though about KD, what people don't realize, and I think he said it was a long time ago. In Sports Illustrated. He said, I've always been picked number 2. Getting drafted, he was number 2. Even now, not one time anybody said KD was the best player in the league. It was always
Skip Bayless.
But it's just skill.
He just said that to not say LeBron is. Come on, man.
But that's always been his one knock. Even when he was with Oklahoma, he couldn't get over the hump because he had his chance against Miami and LeBron beat him once. So, and then he went to the team, one, because you need a ring. Because the whole conversation, like I said from the beginning, he'd never be in the conversation of top 5 or top 10 of all time without a ring. You got to have the ring to satisfy you at least get in the top 25.
Now, let's keep in mind, he didn't just beat LeBron. They waxed LeBron.
But
let's be honest though, that LeBron team overachieved. I mean, I don't
want to hear that when you give him.
No. I'm not gonna say. Look, we can go back. We can go forward. We just know at the end of the day, that team that won against LeBron, they got like 7 players going to Hall of Fame. End of story with that. But he also knows for his legacy sake, he had to go somewhere else. Because he's no different from. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say that because I know you're gonna really crucify me. In a way, it was kind of like a Robert Ory. In a way, listen.
Stop.
No. This is what I'm saying. because Robert Ory made good shot. He made the big shots when it was needed. If you took KD off that team with Golden State, are they still not making to the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, they can still win championships.
But you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, exactly.
It was like him going to the team. It was before he went on the team. It was like they have a chance to make it. Him going on the team, they're gonna win it. That's the only little bit different for it. Because he gave them that extra
times where great rosters have been put together, and we said, they're going to win it, and it didn't happen.
No. That's the problem. See the word that you said? You said great. No, that was an elite. Hey, that was a hell of a roster, man.
The best regular season team ever gets arguably
roster.
One of the best players.
You got to think about it. Just think about this. You got two of the best shooters of all time, number one on the team. You have a 6'10", 6'11" shooter. So it's like you can't double, you can't trap anybody, because if KD has the ball, you have to watch Steph. Steph's running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, shooting half-court threes. And we all know Clay in 30 minutes, he got 45 points.
So who's the better two? And this is just conversation. Steph and Clay or Kyrie and Harden?
Steph and Clay.
Steph and Clay all day. Yeah. Yeah, only because they've proven it.
Because you know why? You know why? Here's why. They've won.
Yeah.
Because regardless of the situation, because we
played 2-on-2.
Listen.
Think those two are better than Harden and Kyrie?
We're not playing 2-on-2. Basketball ain't 2-on-2.
Harden don't even play defense. Harden don't play defense.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, like, you got defense at least.
What I'm saying is, because my thing is this: what's your argument of why they're not? Because you say dribbling, okay? Steph can dribble.
They're better offensive and all around better basketball players. I think
all
James
around,
Harden, all around.
Not better than Clay. Not better than Clay when healthy. Don't you do that?
Clay is a great and phenomenal catch and shoot guy,
and
he's a defender.
And he's a defender.
But
yeah, he's a defender. No, stop. Say he's a defender.
When has Clay ever had to be the guy?
Do what? I'm sorry.
When has Clay ever had to be the one? When they double teaming Clay and taking the ball out of his hands? Clay's never had to do that.
I got you. No, I got you. You ready? He did it the year when KD got hurt. He did it the year when Steph got hurt. And against, matter of fact, James Harden, game 6 or game 7, I can't remember off the top of my head. When everybody was hurt for that season, the last 2 games, he took over.
So we're talking 2 games, or we talking about what?
You're talking about NBA. We're talking about the Western Conference Finals. I don't care about no regular season. You're talking about the best of the best. And guess what?
CP3 was hurting that one too, though.
He outplayed James Harden. That's what I'm saying. James Harden was there. They both looking at side to side. They had to win the games to make the playoff, make it to the Western Conference. NBA Finals. James Harden didn't show up.
So was Clay on the court when they were down 3-1?
When?
Or when they were up 3-1? Was Clay on the court?
When?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Just curious, because you talked about the Western Conference Finals, but when they were up 3-1 and Steph was struggling and Draymond was suspended, what Clay do?
Okay, well, how many times has Harden choked?
I hate to say it for Houston, but he's choked a lot, especially in the freaking because he always misses the clutch shots.
Go look at
I watched that man miss clutch shot after clutch shot after clutch shot
in those choke times. And again, Harden was the number one, and he's had some bad moments.
Yeah,
Clay's never been that.
So let me ask you this: if Clay was healthy,
mm-hmm.
if Clay was in Harden's spot, you don't think they win more games?
Absolutely not. If you put
okay.
Wait. What was your question? Ask the question again, Coach.
Because my thing is this: we already know if KD and Steph was together, and Harden was off the team, they'd be way more. We'll really be back talking about championships, number 1 team in the East. So I'm asking you, if Clay was healthy, is healthy, legit, in his prime or whatever you want to call it, and you take Harden off and you put Clay there, you think they'll win less games than what they're winning right now?
Oh, absolutely not. No, with Clay in Harden's spot right now?
Yeah,
they're a better team.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn or in Houston?
No, in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, they're a better team with Clay.
I'm talking about
simply because you have defense.
Because I was saying
about so Clay is a better team fit in certain environments
where he's any environment.
The one.
No.
He's not. Clay is not a number one. Well, it depends on what team. Clay could be a number one.
He cannot be a number one anywhere.
Yes, he could.
And win.
Listen, we're not saying if he's number one. We're saying if Clay was in New Jersey right now, James Harden wasn't on the team. I believe they win more games now.
And we're talking about both in their prime or this version of Harden we're saying, because we don't know what Clay is. But Harden in his prime, when he was putting up 50s on a regular basis, if that Harden was in Brooklyn, ain't no way Clay's better fit.
Okay, that's it.
That team was up 3-1 on the Bucks last year.
And what happened?
They got hurt.
That's the one knock about James Harden to me. He's a good shooter.
He hasn't historically been hurt. He had a bad last year.
He had. Not that he's been hurt. He just when the shit's on the line, he like this.
he was playing well. Him and they were playing great. They blew out the Bucks in the first two games of that series.
No. But you can't say that.
And they got hurt.
But that's what you expect with Kyrie.
Kyrie get hurt. That's fine.
Kyrie's always hurt.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm talking about Harden. Harden in that role, they were great last year. Okay. And I think they would have easily won the finals if Harden had stayed healthy. But he couldn't do nothing.
We can't say that.
I just said I think.
Yeah, because remember we said the same thing about LeBron. You shot it down quick. Can't do it. He was hurt. That's what
I don't know what I shot down, but that's fine.
You said LeBron.
I think that Clay and them, that's fine. I saw James Harden do historic things in Houston on his own.
And he did. I mean, I love Harden.
But that's the thing, though.
And Clay can't do that.
And that's the thing. And I think that's what people.
I think we're forgetting.
That's what makes Golden State what Golden State is. Because if they don't go in there and saying, I gotta score 50. They go, I'm gonna
did that because he had to, though.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what's the beauty of Clay. We haven't seen Clay anywhere else.
I would love to see Clay somewhere else.
And the reality of it is, I just truly believe that I'll take Clay over James Harden. But hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Hey, speaking of Clay, what did y'all think about Clay this year coming back? He's doing 5-on-5 contact drills. You know, how successful do you think Clay is going to be this year, given the fact that he's coming off major injuries?
He's fine, man. People be saying when you hurt your Achilles and they go back to and they talk about Dominique Wilkins. That was the 90s. Now these doctors do some phenomenal things, and one thing about it is there's not a rush to get him back.
I did agree, but I disagree because Poole and Wiggins are playing really well. Yeah. So somebody gonna have to go to the bench, and we'll see how that shakes out from a chemistry standpoint. Or at the end of the games where either Wiggins or Poole's now going to be on the bench, and they've played really well. But I think you're going to have a chemistry concern, depending on who's going to have to take that back seat. But I think Clay will be fine. He's not a big athletic guy anyway, so I don't think that the injury will be as big of a deal. I think defensively, he might have some trouble. I don't think he's going to be the lockdown guy he used to be. I think we saw Kawhi as his knees have gone out. He hasn't been able to be the defender he once was. So I think Clay, it could be a bit.
But they don't need Clay to be that defensive guy no more, though.
They just need Clay to knock down those threes.
Well, the thing is, they got Andrew Wiggins who can go out and guard the perimeter now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a rush. It's not a rush to get Clay back.
I would not rush. If he's back the new year, I think that's too soon.
And even if he comes, even if he
back Christmas.
But even if he come back Christmas, you're talking about 10, 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah. They're definitely gonna be monitoring his minutes.
It's not like you don't need right now, especially at his age, you don't need him to play 30, 40 minutes. No. You try to give all the experience that you can with everybody else. And then one thing, again, that's one thing I will say about Golden State. They're not about me. It's team and whoever's hot. They don't have a problem. Whoever, like if Wiggins gets, and that's what even with Steph, what makes Steph. He doesn't have a problem deferring to Wiggins. Wiggins, go shoot, go score. That's why it wasn't no issue with KD. If KD hit 3 in a row, they're going to give it back to him, and they're going to say, do your thing. That's what makes them great. Because it's not, they know at the end of the day, I'm remembered off my championships. Not if I score 50. We can say what we want. James Harden will never be in the conversation of top 25. I see the cocky. I'm just telling you.
Top 25 what? All time?
No, he'd never be in that conversation. He'd never be top 50. Because you know what?
He's arguably because you got to look
Not
at it.
top 50?
So there's 5 positions on the court as a shooting guard. James Harden's a top 5 shooting guard right now of all time.
Gotta go. I gotta go. We got Jordan,
Kobe, Wade,
Jerry West.
Jerry West was a point guard, wasn't he?
No.
All right, y'all older than me. I'll digress.
You can't do that. You can't just sit there and not knock the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s.
1-9 in the finals. He's like the greatest loser ever.
Hey, Harden haven't done it yet. Hey, he's a loser.
What is Harden? 0-1.
Okay, well, even if you put Jerry West up there, I said he's top 5. So,
he got there one time and he lost as a 6th man. And
he can't even get there. At least we can say Jerry Weston got there.
Harden did too, and he lost. He only got there once.
Hey, Jerry got one.
And he lost to one of the top 5 greatest players of all time.
Hey,
right?
I gotta go look.
Jerry got one.
I gotta look at the shooting guard spot. You got me thinking about this.
He betted in Ray Allen. He betted in Reggie Miller. He betted all of them.
I don't know about Reggie.
No, Reggie was a bad man though. That make a hit.
My dad's from Indiana. I loved Reggie Miller. I loved Reggie Miller growing up. James Harden was way better than Reggie Miller.
Okay.
Man, I don't know. Harden misses the ball so many times.
Coach, AI.
You can't depend on Harden when you're in the playoffs all the time because that guy he's a hit or miss. If he's cold, he's cold. Like when he's cold, he's like ice cold. Like icicles are forming on his hands and his face. But when he's hot, he's hot. But you don't know what Harden you're getting when you go into the playoffs.
I can't argue that. But by that same token, AI didn't win one either.
Yeah, but he took a team to the Lakers.
Don't start changing
the game that nobody else could.
And he lost.
But did he not do something that nobody else could do? They was not beating that Laker team on that playoff run.
Win? And how many times did he get there?
Was he expected to win, Ray?
Y'all just keep making up all these different. Who cares?
Hey, I'm asking you a question. Was he expected? No, okay, then.
He didn't. Wasn't.
I just think AI is better than James Harden. I'd really do.
Okay.
I'm not knocking that one. I think AI is, but as man, look, man, it's getting late. It's getting late. We can sit here. Look, we can sit here and argue about this all night.
All right, Jay, you want to take us home?
Yeah, man. Hey, it's been a good evening talking sports. Nobody's feelings got too hurt tonight. I think Freddie's doing okay. He looked like he was crying at one point.
No, Freddie hurt my feelings for Chris Paul comment earlier. My feelings.
But hey, if you like the show, you like the content, like what you hear, please like, share, and comment, and keep commenting on the show. We appreciate all of our fans, and we appreciate every one of you. And this is ASAP Real Talk. We'll see you next time, and we out.
Peace.
It was a pleasure.
Whole sports, all plays. Yeah. Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information, hitting the airways.